This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
All right, the Monty Eldrick Woods Show.
Damn
Apparently,
right
it's Championship Sunday. Jake wore red.
Damn right.
On the Monty Show,
ready.
presented by the Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. I tell you every single day on the show, you never reach into your pocket to pay the Advocates because you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. Theadvocates.com right now, today, tomorrow, every day, 24/7, 365. Chat with one of the best injury attorneys in the business for free at theadvocates.com. So how much of a riot is there going to be over Jake's shirt today?
Yeah. What kind of fan am I? And am I going to get called a plum tomato today? Or what,
No,
what are we doing?
That was me 2 weeks ago when I made the fatal error of wearing a red shirt. Jake wore teal on the show yesterday, and the San Jose Shark fans came out of the woodwork. So he's got red on today.
Yeah.
Did not golf well.
No.
You know.
Nope.
So we'll see how you guys come down. How the heck are you? It is Football Friday on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at Tri-Day Trading. Every Friday we talk football. It's football, baby.
Football.
I love it. We have got a lot of games to get to today. Obviously, Coach Prime and Eugene's a big one. BYU is at Kansas. That's a big one in the Big 12. Can Florida State and Clemson? I think that is a big, big game. It's a statement game on both sides. If Florida State pounds Clemson, I mean, they pretty much end Clemson's season.
And that's how I look at it.
Is there any way that Clemson can beat Florida State right now, right here, September 23rd in Clemson, at Clemson, in Clemson?
Mm-hmm.
Can Clemson pull off the miracle? We'll preview that game. And, of course, Notre Dame. Let's go. Notre Dame, Ohio State at the stadium in South Bend. Ohio State's only -3 in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot to get to. But what would this show be? What would this show, the Monty program?
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Program.
What would the Monty Show program, thanks, Coach, be without Pac-12 relegation talk? You know, I thought it was over. I told you, it is so nice that Pac-12 realignment, expansion, contraction, it's over. We don't ever, well, see, actually, ever,
those refunds.
Yeah, ever was probably not the right word to use because we saw a conference call yesterday in the PAC to where we had Oregon State and Washington State talking about relegation. And this has been something that fans have been so excited about. We've been hearing about it and calling for it. We want relegation. And it's dead on arrival. And I'm going to show you some quotes here in a minute from whatever this press conference yesterday was.
PAC 10.
Yeah, in the PAC 2. We'll talk about that in a second. But do you think relegation is a viable option in college football? I do. And I think it is going to be determined by what version of relegation we get. And here's what I mean specifically. Are we in a position where there are two tiers? There is the top tier and the bottom tier. The bottom two go down. The top two and the bottom come up. Okay, that's one. But a source in college football today told me that relegation very easily could be the bottom half of the conference takes a 25% pay cut. And that money that they're not getting goes to the top half of the conference. And so it's an incentive, a monetary incentive. You want to make more money? Get to the top half of the conference. You want to lose money? Go to the bottom half of the conference. That relegation system seems to work far more for me. That seems like a lot more likely than any other relegation option that's being thrown out there. I have trouble believing that the other P5 conferences, and let's leave it at P5 because the Pac-12 is still here, whether you like it or not, the Pac-12 is still an entity. The other four P5 conferences, can you imagine Alabama signing off on relegation? What if they have one bad year and they get dumped down to the bottom where they make 50% less money?
You mean like this year?
Now, but you only half jokingly say that. Is Alabama going to be one of the worst two teams in the SEC? Never. Is that probably to happen? Oh, that's right. What about Vanderbilt? What about, I don't know, Mississippi State? What about Minnesota? What about Nebraska? What about the Virginia schools in football in the ACC? What about Washington State, who historically has been at the bottom? Why would these universities sign off on relegation and promotion? Because if you fall to the bottom of the SEC hierarchy, do you know how difficult it's going to be to climb out of that? I think relegation is this cool little thing that's just floating out there in the air.
It's the new catchphrase, dude.
It's magic dust, and everybody wants a little sprinkle of it until you actually start thinking about what it means. Here's another thing you need to think about with relegation. How's Notre Dame going to vote on relegation? Because where are you going to relegate Notre Dame from? If relegation's going to come to college football in full scale, doesn't that mean that Notre Dame's got to join a conference? Never thought about that, did you? Now, I kind of think that they're not going to do that in football until they are absolutely forced to do that with, and I think the only way is if they can't get a TV deal as an independent or they can't schedule as an independent. And both of those have not certainly been the case financially. Notre Dame's never been better, and they are going to be financially viable, I think, for the next decade as an independent. But with all of this realignment, will Notre Dame be able to schedule 12 power teams in their conference? I don't know. We'll find out. Or as an independent, 12 teams that are P5 level across different conferences? I don't know. I think we'll find out. But, Jake, I'm not sold that relegation is a viable plan, even if it's just the Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, in the monetary setup, I think that's really difficult. I think that, the Pac-12 is, or what was the Pac-12 or what could be the Pac-12, that would be really difficult, especially when you consider, schools like the South Dakota states or North Dakota State or Wyoming or, the smaller school that may not necessarily currently have the same opportunity as a Pac-12 team that once was, right? Like at Wyoming, you're not going to have the same opportunity as a current P5 team. And I think the reason a G5 would not approve of the monetary relegation setup is because you're basically giving them the same pile of crap they already have to deal with, which is, hey, you're not going to get the same opportunity because there's no way you're ever going to beat a P5 to get up into the next tier in the relegation system, even if it was a monetary thing. Right? Like you're never going to beat us. You're never going to win whatever it is you're competing for. And that's basically the case now, right? Even if you win at a really high level, you're not getting to Like if you're San Diego State winning the Mountain West, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a college football playoff team. That doesn't mean that you're having some special thing. And I think that's tough.
That's interesting because if you're in a two-conference system, and we're talking about this because of this Pac-2 situation where Oregon State and Washington State, according to Ross Dellinger at Yahoo Sports, have been working on this idea that you could have a Mountain West Pac-2 merger, and you would have to add 2 teams, but then you would have basically 2 8-team leagues. And that would keep P5 status in the Pac-12. The worst 2 teams in the Pac-12 would fall down to the Mountain West. The best 2 teams in the Mountain West would bump up. The problem, just as Jake in the red shirt over here just described, is if San Diego State wins the Mountain West. Oh, they're getting into the college football playoff? They're not. They're just getting a chance to be the worst team in the Pac-12 now.
Yeah.
So I just don't see any way it can work.
What's the win for the G5s? That's the thing.
What's the win for and again, not to be a red ass about it, but what's the win for the Blue Bloods? There's no win here for the Blue Bloods. They're already at the table. They already pretty much have an automatic qualifier. The winner of the SEC is never going to miss the college football playoff. The top 2 teams in the SEC. You play for the SEC championship, you're both going to the college football playoff. That's essentially what we've said.
Yeah.
You play for the Big 12 championship, you're both going to the college football playoff.
Yeah, I think the only win for the Blue Bloods right now would just be that, they're able to gift wrap, like I said, the new version of the pile of crap that the G5s have to deal with. And I know that that's harsh, but it is the reality of the situation. Like, if you can appease all these little schools that sit at these tables and have these conversations, obviously that's a win on some level. If they can stop banging down your door about how unfair the lack of opportunity is or how unfair, the system is, that's a win. So for the P5 schools, yeah, you're fine. You're just going to keep chugging along. And I think the other part of this that's really interesting is when we consider realignment in college football, because if it were ever to happen that, this relegation system rolled out, whether it was the traditional thought of, hey, the best 2 teams at the lower tier move up and X, Y, and Z, like if it was that one, or if it was the monetary thing, the monetary setup, I still think we have to consider realignment and expansion. Because again, if you were to roll out a relegation system, let's say in the next 2 to 3 years or whatever,
okay,
that's going to have a big impact on where people are going to want to go. Like the SMU thing doesn't happen in the relegation system.
And see, the SMU thing is fascinating to me. And that SMU thing is, hey, we're not going to take $0 of your TV media rights distribution for the next almost decade. I said decade. They're going to take 0 money. Who else is doing that? But then the question becomes, well, if you're taking 0 money and your boosters raised $100 million for you, well, how's that going to impact your recruiting? How's that going to impact your ad partners? How's that going to impact your scheduling? Because I don't think any of that is a slam dunk. Certainly not with the lack of quality matchups, if you will, in the ACC, and with Clemson on the downward, I guess, slide here.
Mm-hmm.
Is North Carolina SMU a game where you're like, well, hot damn, fire up the smoker, let's get some wings?
No.
It's not. You're not excited about that. You're not excited. Who in the ACC? Oh, man, SMU and Cal? I have got to see that game. Never. Like, you're not watching SMU football.
Obviously not.
Unless you're one of the 13 people that support SMU in Dallas County, Texas. You're not watching SMU. So I don't know that this helped SMU that much. I truly don't. And I think the interesting thing here is, if you're the ACC, are you really that much better off for having gone through this Stanford, Calford thing? I don't think you are. Because I maintain Florida State and North Carolina are going to leave as soon as they can leave.
Yeah.
The minute that Clemson has a path to the SEC, they're gone, bro. They're out. So I don't necessarily believe that they're saved. And today I don't believe that the Pac-12 is any safer than they were a month ago.
Yeah.
Like I look at Kirk Schulz and I look at his comments on relegation, Kirk Schulz, the president of Washington State, on a conference call, said, I don't know how you practically move to these particular models that you could even get a lot of people to sit around and agree to. There are going to have to be some other disruptors that are going to force it. Well, Kirk, aren't you a disruptor right now? You have a blank slate. You have a blank slate. I'm just not sure we're going to see a lot of movement in the space in the next 4 to 5 years just because people are locked down into particular media contracts.
So wait, did you just say that the Pac-12 is not moving forward?
This is, and I don't think he's saying that. He's saying relegation. He's talking about relegation.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes me crazy about Kirk Schulz at Washington State. You are the disruptor. You are the guy here, Kirk, who has the opportunity to not break the mold, to mold it, to create the mold. You're the guy who could be the innovator. You're the guy that could be the difference maker in the long-term health and viability of the Pac-12. Instead of the guy driving the failure of the Pac-12, Kirk Schulz at Washington State, you can be the guy to make the move that saves the brand, that saves the assets and the cash. But yet here you are on a conference call talking about the very subject that most people think is the best path forward for the survival of the Pac-12. And you're like, yeah, I don't see it happening for 4 to 5 years. It's remarkable to me that every time Kirk Schulz tries to dabble in or talk about sports, it goes horrifically wrong.
You know.
And I like Kurt as an administrator on the academic side of things. But I am convinced that Kirk Schulz, the president of Washington State, should never have anything to do with athletics. Whether it was the exclusive reporting we had on this show where his staff was threatening to do a sit-in in his office in Pullman if he did not freeze hiring and spending, and what happened 24 hours later, he froze hiring and spending. Whether it is his support of really foolish processes in the Pac-12 that led to the demise of the conference, or whether it's statements like this where Kirk Schulz is quite literally telling you, I don't know how to do what I think we should do because other people are telling you it's not smart. That's what this feels like to me, because I look at Scott Barnes, the athletic director at Oregon State, who I think is one of the best sports administrators in the entire country, bar none.
Facts.
Bar none. Scott Barnes at Oregon State said, as you think about the future of even media rights, I think a sort of relegation model, either in unequal distribution, hey, if you lose, you get less. When you win, you get more. A contraction of teams and or peer relegation will take place. I think that's coming. In terms of the model itself, I think there's some merit to look at some form of hybrid model that does support that. We see it working in a similar fashion in Europe, and certainly it's worth our study. That's Kirk, you don't need to talk Kirk Schulz at Washington State. Just let Scott do all the media.
Yeah, dude.
Just let Scott Barnes at Oregon State in the Pac-2 be the guy who talks for the two of you in the Pac 12, 10, 2. Right? Like, Scott Barnes nails it. Kirk Schulz embarrassed himself.
Again.
It's crazy. You're the only two left on Earth. On planet Pac-12, you're the only two left. And apparently you don't agree on anything. And I'm guessing by these two statements that you don't communicate.
So once again, the survival of the Pac-12 is not looking so shiny anymore.
It's wild. It is absolutely wild that Oregon State and Washington State are at odds over relegation.
Yeah.
How? And much to your question, well, where are we now? Because you're on the clock in the Pac-2.
Yeah.
The two of you need to figure out who you're playing in every sport in about 8 months.
That's a requirement.
Yeah, you guys don't have schedules in any sport for 2024.
You might want to figure that out, dude. Might want to figure that out.
Let that sink in. Oregon State and Washington State don't have athletic schedules or a conference affiliation for 2024. How?
But we want to sit here and talk about 4 or 5 years down the line.
Oh, my God.
Nice move, dude.
Yeah, it's wild.
Nice move.
All right, less of us, more of you. Happy Friday. You know our comment section, us, everything. My round of 1 over this afternoon was powered by Bucked Up Energy. Time for our daily dose of buckshot.
Yeah.
I tell you every day, and I thought it was awesome that one of our listeners yesterday commented about how tired and drowsy they were while driving, and that they were thankful for buckshot because buckshot has made them an alert, more able driver on their route at work. It's stuff like that. When I say, and everybody mocks me, oh, Monty, you say buckshot's changing lives. I'm not kidding.
I'm for real.
Bucked Up as a company is an amazing story. It's a family of that's featuring 2 brothers and their entire family that's built this now brand of nutrition that is a juggernaut. It's a power brand in nutrition. And their best product for me is buckshot. It's 200 grams or milligrams of caffeine and a bunch of brain food that just makes you more alert. It gives you clarity. So if you're somebody that drives a mail truck or a UPS, I know we have a lot of UPS and FedEx drivers that listen to the show. We love you guys and appreciate you. Buckshot's going to make you a better driver. It's going to make you all of our, and we haven't heard from our Amazon Prime drivers in a long time. Our Amazon delivery guys. Remember we used to hear from them back in the day when we had like 4 subscribers and they were all
busy delivering the package.
Yeah, they were all like Amazon drivers. We love you guys. Buckshot's going to make you more able to do that, whether you're typing a TPS report or a pivot table. You're doing budgets, whatever it is, pop a buckshot like you saw him do on the Monty Show every day.
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Down the hatch, boys. That's it. That's all it takes. I love watermelon and blue raz. Get to buckedup.com right now. Use the promo code Monty20 to get 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Who's first in today? How about Payson Cougar fan? Hello, Payson, Utah. Move to 55-plus house in Payson. Kids can't boomerang. Okay. Kids are not allowed to play with the boomerang. Will I ever live in old? You're probably going to put me in an old folks home like next week.
As soon as possible.
All right, time to play shuffleboard.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
Yeah. 55-plus housing. Got to love HOAs, right? Who's first in today?
Yeah, who's the first person?
I have to go all the way back to the top. Let's see. Tarrant County. What's up, SMU boy? Happy Fish Day, fellas. Monty, what do I get for being early several times? No, you get a
Nothing.
Hey.
Good job, dude.
Wow.
Really nice job.
Congratulations. Pat you on the back there.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my friend. Let's Kevin the Destroyer. Hello. Zesty Retro and Games. Monty and 3 holes crushing it. Thank you.
I'm 3 holes.
You know. Big 12 all Texas sports fan. Monty, don't ever wear a red shirt again.
Damn.
Red apparently is not a popular cover. Jim Choi, Tiger Sunday.
That's right.
Tarrant County, SMU, boy. Bloody Jake.
Oh, no.
Look at that. Look at his avatar.
He changed it.
He changed his avatar.
On the fly, he's changed his avatar. Look at how legit that is.
Bucked up in Modelo.
Okay.
Now you're speaking my language. Ocean View Coffee Crew, San Diego State to the Pac-12. If they merge with the Mountain West, which I don't see any way they don't, right? LV Seminole, hey, Monty, the Bears are playing the Chiefs Sunday. Did you guys hear the Bears got robbed? No, I'm not kidding. Somebody ripped a security fence down at Soldier Field in Chicago and drove away Chicago Bears assets. I don't want to know what assets are you driving away. Gary Wolf says, wreck 'em 2 holes. Pew, pew.
I'm not a Tech fan. Don't start with that nonsense.
Well, you're wearing red, right?
Not a Tech fan.
You know, John Evans from Dallas County, Texas. I need to renew my membership. Yes, you do, John Evans.
Better send those refunds.
Click the join button, you guys, on the show. We have 2 levels of membership. $1.99 gets all of your comments read. $9.99 gets you into our exclusive members-only Instagram chat. It is a phenomenal group. All of my losing prize picks are in that group pretty much on a day.
For somebody.
On a day, yeah, I'm filling in for the people who used to win. I used to win on Prize Picks. I am in
The dynasty is not over.
Yes, it is. I am in a Prize Picks drought right now. Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Make sure you click the link in the description below. Use the promo code Monty to get 100% deposit matching. Tarrant County, boy, Florida State versus already crowned Clemson. I think that could be one of the most important games of the weekend.
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
Are we watching? And I in the comment section, I seriously, I want your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Are we watching the end of Dabo and Clemson as we know it?
I mean, it very well could be. I mean, I think that it's hard for me to put a exact thumb on why he's struggling so much. I mean,
because
clearly,
Trevor Lawrence plays for the Jaguars.
I don't know who Trevor Lawrence is. He did have a quarterback that had 5 foreheads at one point. So since Buddy left, like they haven't been the same. And I think that. I don't know. Like, I would assume that Dabo is a proficient recruiter. I would assume that Dabo being a little bit younger of a head coach, since that's what everyone's reasoning is around the portal, I would assume that he's, active in the portal. He's active on the recruiting front, but somehow, some way, he's regretting letting DJ leave. How?
I think you look at what happened with that team. And I know that Dabo is a great head coach, and I am not questioning his ability to be a head coach. But I would also remind you he had power players on defense.
Mm-hmm.
I would remind you that, he had ATN and Lawrence. He had dynamic talent. And maybe that talent was too much to overcome for everybody else. Sure, that could be. He's not that talented anymore. He's not a guy that embraces a transfer portal. I think we could be seeing the end of Dabo Sweeney as we know him at Clemson. It is – I want to believe that Dabo can rebuild the Clemson program. I don't see it happening. Not the way he's gone about business. And I say the same thing about Nick Saban in Alabama, but we've already seen that Nick Saban is far more aggressive in the portal now. I want to say the same thing maybe about a guy like Mike Gundy with all these rumors floating out there about mass exoduses after this weekend in Stillwater.
Get your facts straight.
Well, maybe, Coach, I don't know. But maybe those guys just aren't capable of evolving on the level that other coaches are. And I think this Florida State Clemson game, that I've noticed the location. It's at Clemson, and Florida State's a 2-point favorite,
which I think is spot on. Clemson hasn't earned that respect this year, and they didn't earn it last year.
This is a huge moment in time for Clemson. This is a huge moment in time.
Yeah.
Kevin the Destroyer, Venables is gone. That's a great point. Venables is gone, and that was your defensive coordinator on those great Clemson teams. You know what, Kevin? That's a great point. And Venables now, what has he done? Embrace the transfer portal and turn things around in Norman, and we'll see how that lasts. But
you can see progress for OU. You can see that, and you don't. All you see for Clemson is regression, and that's why I say, like, sometimes I wonder. I'm not sitting here saying that Dabo doesn't want to win. I have no doubt the guy wants to win.
Want is not the word.
Yeah, it's just a thing where, like, I don't know. I feel like the Gundys, the Dabos, like these guys that are just kind of along for the ride right now are getting left behind. And I'm not saying that Mike Gundy's going to get fired this year, or like anything imminent is, or that their firings are imminent. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there's just like, it's another year, right? Like, I'm going to go out and check the boxes on my schedule maybe. Like, it's not as aggressive. Like, that's why I think Nick Saban and Kirby deserve a lot of respect. I think this game at Notre Dame for Ryan Day, dude, if you lose this game, we have to ask some questions. Like we do.
Yeah. I think it's far more about Dabo at Clemson. I think that is a big deal. Kevin also says Dabo's cooked. Domer Wab.
Hey, Domer.
Monty, thanks for the shout out to the baseball team that doesn't win games in Chicago. Had no idea you were such a fan. I won't do it. Don't ask. Don't ask. You get the Monty retired red shirt. See, everybody. What is it about your polo shirt the last 2 days?
Yeah, I'm just him. You know what I mean?
Jeff Woodworth, I don't know what Dabo's winning percentage is anymore.
Yeah,
Apparently
I don't know
not.
either. It's not good.
The Dabo dynasty is dead, Gary Wolf says. So I'm not the only one that's like, hey.
The dynasty is not over.
Yeah. And then I think there's a lot of people on this one right here. Real Wade Nation gaming clips. You're just clips now. I would rather watch Oregon versus Colorado.
Do you believe?
Wouldn't everybody else? But in all seriousness, though, doesn't everybody else?
Hey, you guys see the over-under on that game? Just a small little number of 70. Just, a small little number.
Right, but that's not the number. You combine the over-under at 70 with the 21-point favorite in Oregon. I mean, that's a 49-point put up by Oregon.
Spot. Yeah.
They are expecting Oregon to score a hell of a lot of points in that
As
game.
they should. A
lot. And donuts. What's up, my guy? Dabo could be burnt out. Toast. He may be.
Yeah, there's not enough butter left for the toast, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Joe, Higashi legit leg kicks.
Okay, leg kicks is your new name.
Are you Quads? What's up, Quadzilla?
Yeah, dude.
Dabo Sweeney is the quote, the dad from The Blind Side, robbing players, lying with fake Christian platitudes.
I'm sorry. Can you define platitudes for me, dude? I need to understand what platitudes are.
Hey, look, Quadzilla, settle down.
Yeah, dude.
Is it normal for schools to get signing bonuses because the reports that came out today and yesterday about some of the schools like Colorado getting $2.5 million from ESPN to join the Big 12? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
That falls under the gray area folder.
Yeah, I don't wanna indict people. It is not abnormal. I don't know how much I believe about this. There are stories floating around that Colorado will get bonuses related to Big 12 football. I've not been able to. I may or may not know some people in certain parts of Connecticut. I have not been able to verify that story, and I'm not so certain I'm willing to jump on board on the specifics that are being tossed around.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any question Colorado needed to get to the Big 12. There's no question about that. They were not staying in the Pac-12. I have a hard time believing they got a hard cash payout to go to the Big 12 because they needed the Big 12 a hell of a lot more than the Big 12 needed them.
Agreed.
Because we did not have the primetime, Coach Prime 9 million viewer number in August. We did not have that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's thrown out there. I would just say,
chill out, bro.
Yeah. Greg Hill, what's up, Greg? Good to see you, my guy. Portal is leading to parity. I don't think there's any doubt. Tarrant County, boy. If Dabo wins, he better hit the Dougie. Can you imagine Clemson beating Florida State? I'd be so Norvell family style. Like it just Mike Norvell. He needs this.
Yeah, he needs a slice of humble pie, bro.
He needs it, and I think it is going to be very interesting to see exactly how all this plays out. And I think that if whoever loses this game is going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive ACC matchup, and I think that I agree with the lines. Florida State should be favored. Florida State's a better team. Florida State probably has more talent. Florida State definitely has a better quarterback, right? Florida State,
I would agree.
Definitely has better wide receiving talent. So I think it's pretty spot on. And yeah, it would be shocking to me if Florida State messed this up. But we've seen crazier things.
Ooh, breaking news out of college basketball. This is a big one. This is a big one. A federal district judge today granted class action status.
Oh, boy.
On an antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA and the nation's top college conferences. It challenges The NCAA's remaining rules regarding athletes' ability to make money from their name, images, and likeness. An injunction against the NCAA's remaining rules regarding athletes' NIL restrictions could create the possibility of athletes being able to get NIL money from their schools for any reason at all. This goes back to this class action designation's a big deal because, and we talked about this lawsuit when it was originally filed. What this lawsuit's about is the very narrow rule that says it is only because you put your name on a T-shirt you can sell that T-shirt. It, in the NCAA's eyes, it's truly just your name, your image, or your likeness that you can get paid on. We talked about it yesterday on the show, this situation where, the Gene Smith, the athletic director at Ohio State, saying that athletes are asking for $5,000 just to come and take an official visit. If this suit goes through and they say it's not going to go to trial until 2025. But if this suit is successful, you don't have to have a reason to pay an athlete. A university can pay an athlete for any reason it sees fit.
Yeah, we had a great discussion on this, the other day on the show, Grum, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, dude, look at our culture. Just set college football aside for a second. What kind of culture do we live in? Hey, dude, you got to make money to pay the bills. And nobody really restricts how you can make money. We don't look down on people selling T-shirts with their face on it before a Laker game. We don't look down on people just coming up with all kinds of ways to make money. Yet when it comes to these kids who have athletic ability that can't be replicated, we seem to not want, we don't want them to make money. And so I'm just sitting here yeah, why wouldn't we allow them just to make money? Why would we not just regulate it in a way where we just open it up? Just say, hey, yeah, go make your money.
But you understand, if this class action is also successful, it could be the beginning of the end for the NCAA.
Yeah.
In total.
Yeah.
Because the plaintiffs, the people filing the suit, could be asking for as much as $1.5 billion in damages. Because they're saying now that they are restricted from making money. And obviously there's a clear argument there when you have a very narrow pathway to make money. They're asking for retroactive damages as part of this. That's why getting a class action, which is instead of, hey, Jimmy Smith versus the NCAA, it's college athletes from this period to this period suing the NCAA. And there's going to be a window in time now where athletes will be able to attach themselves to the suit. And they're talking about $1.5 billion. And that could really be the undoing. I think that is very interesting. And I would also remind you, the judge looking at this case is the same one that ruled in favor of Ed O'Bannon, who is the one that started all of this with his lawsuit. So this is going to be something that is very, 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 very careful.
I just think
for the NCAA.
The days of the NCAA, respectfully, being a bunch of old folks controlling college athletics, that's over with. We are way past that now. And now it's just a matter of how long it's going to be before this gets pushed through. Because at some point, maybe it's not this time, maybe it's not next time, but at some point it will get pushed through.
The other thing you got to remember about a case like this changes everything, not just NIL. Because if you say to a college athlete, a school can pay you anything you want, okay, well, what if it's then, well, come over here and we'll pay you $10,000, $100 million, $1 gazillion. Are you going to limit their ability to transfer anymore? Because aren't you limiting their ability to make money? If you say, hey, you can't transfer, aren't you limiting their ability to make more money? Well, I think you are. And aren't we arguing over employment status at that point?
Yep.
I would think that this would put an end to the employment status argument. They would not be employees. They would be independent contractors that are, essentially mercenaries You can transfer one time or whatever. I look, I get it. This lawsuit, it is meant to debilitate the NCAA's ability to regulate kids in the way they make their money.
Yep. And
I just go back to what I've always said. Watch what you wish for. Because there will be hard times for a lot of kids if this lawsuit goes through. I think kids, it is going to become an arms race. And I think the Travis Hunters are always going to make their money. I think the best basketball players in the country are always going to make their money. But who's going to twist it to leverage a situation for their own good? Because it won't be the kids. Somebody will find a way to profit on this.
Yeah.
Somebody. This is a huge, huge story. Huge story.
Yeah.
Big 12 all Texas sports fans. How do I get one of those memberships? If you are not updated, iOS 17, from what I was told, I don't know, you have iOS 17. iOS 17, I was told you can see the join button now because YouTube updated their app. But if you go to a desktop, go to YouTube, go to our channel, you can click the join button. If you're on Android, you can click the join button, and you just select your level of membership. And it's as simple as that, guys. And we really appreciate everybody who has chosen to support this show by becoming a member. Thank you so much. Because without you guys, we wouldn't have it. Right now, you can help us by hitting the like button. We've had 2,700 views on the show and just 75 likes, so please do hit the like button. Aaron Wilson. Jake's got over 200 drops now.
Okay, here we go.
Aaron Wilson. Yeah. Aaron pretty much on a daily basis gives memberships to the show, so we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Aaron Wilson. So, yeah, guys, make sure you hit the like button. That helps. Welcome to the nightmare. $2 a month or $10 for the Graham private chat. Thank you very much. Big 12 All Texas says, thanks. This old iPhone ain't cutting it.
Yeah, and it's not the...
Did I get... Today is Apple Watch Day. And, of course, did they deliver it on time so I could get my new Apple Watch?
No. They don't lie you,
no.
dude.
And, no, I see everybody asking about the dancer. She's 42 minutes late coming to the door.
No, you said 5 o'clock.
Oh, did I? I thought it was 3.
5.
Okay.
No, she said
well,
5.
She has not come to the door yet. So when she comes to the door, I will let you know. I'm guessing she won't be there. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
It is strictly a guess on my part, but I am just guessing.
Yeah.
The dancer doesn't come back.
Yeah.
I hope that's I hope that's true. Let's see. Where are you guys at on this lawsuit? Where are you guys at on big games? Big blue horses. Monty is being the hype man here. How am I being a hype man? What do you mean? Christopher Shannon, Jake, the NCAA was and is the universities. To a certain extent, but the universities don't love the NCAA. You know.
Yeah, the NCAA is a crock, dude. The NCAA is set up.
I don't disagree with that.
To limit kids and their ability to be as successful as they want to be. Because I subscribe to the idea that, hey, if you have athletic ability and you can leverage that to make money, there should be no cap on how much money you can make.
Look at Welcome to the Nightmare. Real quick before I get back to Domer Wap. The everyday person gets paid on OnlyFans, but the athlete getting peanuts when the school makes money hand over fist. This has always been my argument. It's the NFL. The owners are billionaires making money like
hand over fist.
Like they have their own personal ATM machine. Yet running backs can't get paid in the NFL, right? And without the running backs or without the players in the NFL and without the brain damage and the physical damage being done to the player, you don't make your money. Well, it's the same thing in college. It's just on a much smaller scale. Like this legislation that wants to limit a college football player or a college athlete's ability to get health insurance unless they graduate. Well, what does that have to do with the injuries they sustain while making you billions of dollars? What has one got to do with the other?
Yeah, and what if those injuries prevent them from graduating?
And I just go back and say, if the kid's on the field, he deserves to make all the money he can. If he's not eligible, okay, that's a totally different deal. We can talk about that. But if he's eligible and he's on the field, why should you have the ability to restrict the money he can make?
100% agree.
But yet, that's what it is. Domer Wap, wait until they are classified as employees. That is coming as well. I think this class action suit absolutely cuts that out. Because when you make somebody a hired gun, and right now they're not. That's illegal to pay a kid. But if you're able to pay recruits, if you're able to pay kids anything you want for any reason, all of a sudden the game's changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
You're 1099. You're a contractor at that point.
Yes.
You're not an employee. And I think this is a really, Domer, I think this is a really important point. Are you an employee or are you not? We need a federal judge and then an appeals court, because you know it's going to get appealed. We need a federal judge and an appeals court, an appellate court, to say whether college athletes are employees or contractors.
Yeah.
And I think this class action suit is going to delay that ruling, and I think this class action suit is going to knock out all of that. I think if you get $1.5 billion in damages, the NCAA is in immediate trouble. And I think this is gravitationally changing. You are turning around the way business is done in college athletics.
Yeah.
Because basketball is just as important. And I go back to Gene Smith at Ohio State. He said football was the number one generating NIL sport in college at Ohio State. What's number two at Ohio State? Well, it's volleyball. And I think everybody assumes basketball. Not if you're not at Kansas, not if you're not Carolina or Duke.
Yeah, dude. Not if you're not at a traditional basketball school.
Would anybody be surprised if track and field was number two behind football at Oregon? With Nike being the behemoth it is? I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if basketball was not one or two, again, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, Carolina. Like, I'd be shocked.
That's why I say, why do we care so much that these kids can make money?
Because I think it's all the gifts of Dave Chappelle holding on to his millions of dollars, right? That's what the NCAA here is doing. The NCAA fears empowering the people that make them money.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't want to get into stereotypes or whatever. I will just leave it at the NCAA fears empowering the people who make them their money.
Yeah.
Which are the athletes. I think they're worried about it.
It's a story as old as time.
Yeah, I just think it is. And it's really unfortunate because it just doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have to be this way. Mike Smith, hot chicks jumping around. Hell yes. Hey, man.
Stay hard.
No hating on volleyball here. I love that sport, especially in the sand at the Olympics. Okay, let's move on.
Tough.
Cleveland rocks. Will non-athletic students have to pay higher tuition costs to help cover athletes' expenses? If so, is that fair? You'll never see that in writing. You'll never see it in writing because look at our financial system with tuition now. Tuition, different show. Big 12 all-Texas sports fan. My wife works for the San Jose Sharks games for Mercy Worldwide Charity. It was great seeing the teal shirt yesterday.
Hey, man, I'm here for you, bro. I got you, dude.
Do you believe?
Yes.
Bro, you better go shopping over the weekend. Don't you show up here in a black shirt on Monday.
Man, I might have to roll out some purple or something crazy, dude.
Bring your black and pink golf shirt I bought you.
I might have to bring, man, maybe I should rock the other one that you got, too.
The pink one?
Yeah.
Maybe. Title IX is a factor, too. Federal law says schools can't give more resources to men's sports and not women's sports. But here's the beautiful thing. NIL is not based on your gender.
Yeah.
Volleyball is the number 2 NIL sport at Ohio
Livy
State.
Dunn at LSU.
Exactly right. Look at the Red Rocks at Utah.
Yeah.
Title IX, and we have not heard this yet, but Title IX has not been a huge issue in NIL. Women, men, it doesn't matter what your gender is, which is exactly how it should be.
Oh, you can move people to buy our stuff? Great. We'll do it.
And the Cavender twins?
Yeah. Cavinder,
whatever
it is.
Dude, women make a ton of money in NIL.
Dude.
Softball, a ton of money. There's a ton of money in women's basketball. Her name went right out of my head. The girl at Iowa. There's just so many examples.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes, Caitlin Clark. So many examples. I think gender equality, money knows no gender. If you can make it, you'll have it. If you have it, you can make more. If you don't have it, you can make it. It doesn't matter if you can knock on somebody's front door and sell them solar panels, you can make money. It doesn't matter. You can either make it or you can't.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what your gender is, I'm telling you. I don't hate the NCAA. But I'm telling young people in this country have more ability to make money in a more diverse way than I'm 50 years old, man. My generation never had social media to make money. And I leverage social media to make money now. When I was 20, are you kidding me? If I had Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, you just have so many ways to make money.
Yeah.
And all they want you to do is wear a t-shirt, swing their golf club. I just spit everywhere.
Yeah, do you mind?
Swing their golf club, wear their shoes, wear their Blender sunglasses, Deion. Deion Sanders in like 2 days made $14 million for Blender
Do
sunglasses.
you believe?
Like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Like, there's a story today. This Deion Sanders thing is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. How
long will Deion Sanders be at Colorado? Because there is a story about Deion making a ton of money. And I know I made a graphic for that. But Colorado, Oregon, tomorrow. Minus 21 for Oregon. What did you say Deion Sanders has made? $9 million or
no, $90 million.
$90 million.
So Colorado Deion in 3 games as Colorado's head football coach has brought the school in the equivalent of $90 million worth of ad exposure and media exposure. So basically, hey, everybody wants to be in Boulder. Everybody's covering Colorado. We can run more ads. We can run more ads. We can make more money to the point of $90 million.
Wild.
Deion's on a 5-year deal, and I believe he's getting $29 a year, I think it is, or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. Yeah, he's on pace. Dude, if this continues over that 5-year period, he's on pace to make the school more than $1 billion.
That's wild.
I said he's on pace to make him $1 billion, and he's on whatever deal he's on.
And think about how much he's making unrelated to Colorado.
Yeah, and by the way,
think about his Nike deal, his Blender deal, his.
Look at this. There's a video going around the internet right now. He has the Lamborghini SUV. Deion does. And his son outed him for getting a parking ticket in Boulder. They ticketed he just parked in the wrong spot or whatever. That's what people want to see. That's why Deion makes money, dude.
The mouse video.
Yeah. Yes.
He has in his office, he saw a mouse. And he did a video on Instagram about it. Where was the mouse? The mouse was hiding in one of his Nikes. Did you see the row of Nikes that Deion has in his office? It's amazing to me.
Yeah, dude.
But that's what's capable now. So there's a lot of old heads who are like, oh, well, back in my day when we walked to school uphill both ways.
And we took our hat and sunglasses off to talk to everybody.
And we didn't have shoes or sandals. And we were unfed and kept. Like the old heads who don't grasp the fact that it's okay if the youngins get to make some bread too. It's okay. I to this day will fight you over the fact that you're like, well, an education should be no, an education shouldn't be enough. No, it shouldn't. Because now they can make money and they're not going to come out of college with hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt.
You know what the difference is? It used to be that you needed an education to make money. That's not the case anymore. You can make a lot of money without an education. And once again, the old head wants to keep the system the way it was, and new technology is breaking the system.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is.
Sean Jenkins, a member of the show, is there a shot in hell that the conferences create NIL salary caps to even the playing field for universities?
I don't think they're interested in evening the playing field. I don't think that people want it to be fair and cute and everyone gets the same access.
Anything that caps a student's income potential is going to be a fight.
But think about it if you're the school, because I agree with that. But think about it if you're the school. You're not seeing the cute little word being thrown around parity now. The haves and the have-nots are going to continue to get farther apart. That's why Kirk Schulz can continue to make an ass out of himself, and everyone just expects it. He's a have-not. And unfortunately, the haves are the ones that are in the AP top 25 every week, and the have-nots are the ones that play in non-prime markets, like, Boise State. You're a have-not right now.
But the turnarounds for teams like Colorado
Yeah.
are not long arcs anymore.
But what did they have to do?
They had to radically change the way they did business, from admissions to who was coaching the team to embracing the digital marketplace, which 9 out of 10 presidents in college sports don't want to do. They don't want to embrace social media.
And then we want to hate on them and say, "Oh yeah, go to the Big 12. We don't need you in the Pac-12." I'm Dan Lanning. What has Colorado ever done? Okay, hate on them. Fine, hate on them. But when they cover the number this weekend and they make you look like an idiot this weekend, yeah, we'll see who's talking after the game, man. We'll see who's talking, because I'm telling you, that 70 over-under and minus 21 to Oregon, they're going to cover the 21, in my opinion. They'll lose the game.
I do think Kyle Wilson's point here, that it's the non-blue bloods that are going to struggle. Can Wyoming pay what Alabama pays?
No.
I think it's a very fair point. Can
But
Oregon State pay what USC pays? Probably not. I think it is already the case.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you fix it. I really don't. Johnny says separation of Title IX and pay for play. I mean, I don't know that equality is part of this conversation. I mean, if you can make somebody money, you're going to get paid.
Yeah, I think that everyone wants everything to be fair, and we want it to be a Cinderella story. And they're just going off to college, and as part of that, they're playing football. They're being a gymnast at LSU. They're being a the best pitcher in college softball. Like, no, dude, these are full-time jobs they're running out there, and then they study.
But the only, and I know last time I said this, people lost their mind. The only thing that needs to be fair is access to opportunity.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
You are not entitled to make money. You are entitled to the opportunity to make money, regardless of your gender. So in NIL, gender truly is the equality question. I don't think in NIL that's an issue. I think opportunity across genders, opportunity across classes is not a question in NIL. It truly is not, whether it's a para athlete or...
I mean, if we're going to paint a picture of if people are questioning, hey, do female athletes have the same access as male athletes? Did anybody pay attention to golf right now? Anybody looking at golf? Dude.
But go back to Jeremy Bloom, the skier at Colorado. Jeremy Bloom was a football player at Colorado. You guys remember Jeremy Bloom? The kick returner wide receiver, right? You look at Jeremy Bloom, and they wouldn't let him participate, because he was a skier and a football player. Like, that's gone now. That is gone now. Equality is the only concern in Title IX. It's not a thing. Everybody has equal opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
If you're good enough to go to Alabama, trust me, they want you to play football, basketball, volleyball, shuffleboard.
Whatever your cup of tea is.
Whatever it might be, they want you there. Welcome to the Nightmare says prime at Colorado, 3 years max. I think it's 5 years. Yeah. I think Deion Sanders is very aware of his brand, and I think he does not want to become a stepping stone guy. And he's talked about that pretty openly. Sean Jenkins, is there a shot in hell that the conferences create an NIL salary cap? No, I don't think so. Minus 21, cheese and rice, Christopher Shannon says. Minus 21.
Yeah.
Oregon is a 21-point favorite.
Yeah.
This weekend. In 2 minutes, we're going to start getting into the games here on the Monty Show. Bryce Martin, who is going to Texas and Baylor, thanks to our friends at buckedup.com. Also a sneaky team to make the college football playoff, North Carolina. If they can get by Florida State, Clemson, and Notre Dame, they can get in. They can. Bryce, I'm fascinated by Clemson, Florida State this weekend. Because I think there's a chance Florida State goes to Clemson and just torches Dabo and Boyd.
Agreed.
I think there's a real chance that happens. I think that's a big deal. Domer Wap. Domer, did he write books for girls? Oh, wait, that was Judy Bloom. Very different. Very different. Very different. Alex Ray, top 3 payrolls in baseball. Mets, Yankees, Padres are terrible this year. What does that tell you about spending money for talent? It rarely equates. And in baseball, you can't buy pitching. You better be farming it. You better be farming it. In hockey, you better be drafting it. In football, you better have a quarterback. And if you got to buy one, go buy one. There are some rare examples. Ocean View Coffee Shop, NIL salary cap. You cannot. You cannot. Mike Smith, see how they put Prime's playing numbers as the handicap betting numbers? Oh, synergy. Minus. It's not what happened. It's not what happened. Jeff Woodworth, all college basketball blue bloods are 3-0 in football. Yeah, they are. Kansas, does that come to an end for Kansas this weekend? Because Kansas has BYU. Now, last time for BYU, Isaac Rex came on the show 2 weeks ago. He's blown up since. Max Tooley came on the show this week from BYU. Telling you, big game out of
six.
Good big game out of Maximus. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show, as always, is presented by our good friends at TryDayTrading.com, as is Football Friday. TryDayTrading.com. How come you guys haven't been there yet? So many of our viewers and listeners have gone to TryDay Trading, signed up for the 30-day trial membership, and are just kicking ass. It is so good to see good things happening for our viewers and listeners. We want good things for everybody. You guys know that on this show. Go get the $10 30-day trial membership. You have absolutely nothing to do. That $10 goes to charity, so it's a tax write-off for you. You get their full educational program for 30 days for $10. All of their coaching, you get your own high-level day trading coach who's going to teach you about processes, softwares. He's going to teach you about algorithms. You're going to say to him, hey, I was told that the market's got to be really good for good day trading. Completely false. I was told it has to be really bad. Completely false. Every day on the market is a good day to day trade because you're not hanging on to stocks for long periods of time.
Facts.
You're not. You're in day trading. You're getting in and you're getting out. That's it.
Yep.
You're quick ins and quick outs. And that's why day trading is so lucrative, because if you understand how to identify those, and the algorithm, the software, the process, the platform at TryDayTrading.com identifies those opportunities. That's why full-time traders who graduate the TryDay Trading program are making $1,000 a day. That's a minimum of $240,000 a year. Let's go, baby. Go make that money. Go make that bread. TryDayTrading.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Let's start talking football. Jake, there's a bunch of huge games this week. What is your favorite game of the weekend?
My favorite game of the weekend is Ole Miss, Alabama.
Really?
I think that we want to sit here and we want to talk about Dabo and Clemson, and I just think, while that's important and everything, I think Nick Saban's got more on the line than Dabo does. Nick Saban's not in any kind of danger of being fired. Nick Saban's not in any kind of danger of people thinking lesser of him, but I do think that Nick Saban, for his own purposes, needs to find a win against an SEC opponent this week. He needs to show that, hey, even with a lesser team, even with quarterback issues or lack of talent at the quarterback position, the greatness of Nick Saban is still here and still at play. And I think Lane Kiffin and Jackson Dart and that Ole Miss squad are coming in to prove a point. I think that Lane Kiffin has been searching and hunting and been on a track to find supremacy in a big matchup, to be able to say, hey, I won the big game. I beat Nick Saban. I beat the guy that showed me how it was done. And I think that's why this is such an important thing. And I think for once, Lane Kiffin has the edge. Lane Kiffin does have a better quarterback. Lane Kiffin does have a competent offense. He does have a good defense. He should be right in this game, if not win the game. And that, to me, is why this is the biggest game of the week, because there's so much on the line. Now, sure, is Ohio State Notre Dame the headliner? Absolutely. Of course. Am I stoked to watch Deion in primetime? 100%. But as far as the big picture in college football, I think this game for Nick Saban is crucial.
Well, I think when you look at Alabama and Ole Miss, I don't think there's any doubt that the star for Alabama has to be Roydell Williams. And I say that because Ole Miss cannot in any way, shape, or form control the clock. They just don't. They don't care how long the time of possession is, just as long as we score a touchdown as fast as we can. That's Ole Miss. That is lane train football. But Jackson Dart could be a better quarterback. Their passing game has not been legit as yet, like sharp as attack. That's going to get better. But everybody's talking about Jalen Milroe at Alabama. Jake, I'm telling you, it's Roydell Williams. He's the guy. Because if you're Alabama, Jalen Milroe, I think a lot of people forget, threw for 255 yards against Texas.
Right.
The guy can throw the ball. How many turnovers will you get? You're better off being in 3rd and 6 because you got shut down on 2 runs with Roydell than you are having Jalen Milroe throw the ball on 1st and 2nd down every time.
Well, yeah, and I think that he got thrown into a lot of bad situations. Jalen did. I think that, the idea that you are asking this guy against Texas to diagnose a defense, to then make a good decision, to then also protect the football, to then also lead you down the field, high completion. Like, he's not ready for that. He is a freshman, man. This is somebody who has not been here before. He's not been asked to do these things before, let alone asked to do them at a Nick Saban, SEC, college football playoff level. So the idea that we're wondering, hey, what's the biggest game of the week on the slate? Yeah, it's Alabama Ole Miss, because Nick Saban is playing Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was there for 3 years on Saban's staff. Who's the only team they lost to at home? Ole Miss. So now Lane Kiffin is the head coach of Ole Miss, running in there, and he wants to prove a point. And that's why I say, dude, I want answers to, hey, is Alabama a top 10 team? Because if they're a top 10 team still, they win this game. If Nick Saban is still that guy, and I think he is, right? I'm not questioning Nick Saban's ability to, coach a football team, to lead a program. I am questioning his prowess in the portal. I am questioning his ability to recruit right now. I am questioning the process and his willingness to change, as we've talked about all week with these different coaches like Mike Gundy at Okie State. These guys need to catch up. These guys need to get it going. And so to me, I look at this situation and I say, hey, like we need to understand that Jalen Milroe is... My guy over here got locked out. Hold on one sec. Okay, we're back.
How did the door close? The hell?
The door closed on my guy over here, right in the middle of my take. You see what I have to deal with here, people? See what I have to deal with?
Listen.
Dude,
my tiny child bladder?
Dude, the door locks automatically. And
it does.
My guy over here doesn't have a key.
It does. Anyway.
Yeah. So this is the biggest game of the week. I don't even think
I think
it's in
it
question.
is, and I think this is a defining moment for Tommy Rees at Alabama, because there are already a lot of people calling for Nick Saban to make a change at the offensive coordinator. I don't know. We'll see. I think Tommy Rees has a lot to prove. I think if you see Ole Miss come out, if Ole Miss gets the lead, I think Tommy Rees is in real trouble. Alabama's not a come-from-behind team. I would expect whoever wins the coin toss is going to, I think in the first 3 plays, somebody's going to take a shot, because whoever gets the lead, that team's got a massive advantage. I think Alabama's defense is still very capable. My question is, can Jalen Milroe carry an offense that's trailing by a touchdown, 10 points, 13 points, heavens to Betsy, 14 points? I don't know that Jalen can do that. I have real worry for Alabama, but this is not the game you lose to Lane Kiffin. And I am not sitting here telling you that Alabama is going to lose to Ole Miss. I think Alabama is going to win this game. I think it is going to be a very, very close game. I'm going to take Alabama to win by a field goal. I think Ole Miss covers, Alabama wins, and I do think it goes over the 55.5.
Yeah, I'm going to have faith for one more week in Nick Saban. I think that Nick Saban has questions for Tommy Rees and is going to be more involved in that offensive scheme and game plan.
Yes.
And I agree with you. Roydell should get a lot more carries this week. You should get a lot more, hey, it's 1st and 10, we're going to run the football, and we're going to be in 2nd and 5 all game long. That's going to be the goal this week, because if you can be in 2nd and 5 all night long, you're going to be in a much better position. That That Milroe run for 4 or 5 yards on second down is a lot better than 4 or 5 yards on third down, and you're just trying to get the first down. Like, that's the kind of positions that Alabama needs to be in when you don't have an effective quarterback. So that's why I say I think Alabama wins this game. I do think it's close most of the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won this by a touchdown.
Can you count on Alabama's offensive line to be some semblance of what we're used to at Alabama?
Yeah, I think that's tough.
If Roydell Williams runs for 150 yards, Ole Miss is getting blown out.
Yeah.
Because you're simply not going to have enough possessions to outscore Alabama. You guys will run me down for this on Monday. I am certain of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could be a breakout game for Jalen Milroe because so many people, I've read so many people this week, they're like, he was terrible against Texas. He wasn't terrible against Texas. When I look at Roydell's numbers against Texas, and I think we all agree, Ole Miss is not better than Texas.
Agreed.
When I look at Jalen Milroe and Roydell Williams struggled against Texas. Jalen Milroe was 14 of 27, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, but what was the number that stood out? The 2 picks. Can he limit interceptions? If he throws for 250 yards against Ole Miss, this game's over. Because if he throws for 255, I'm telling you, he'll throw for 325. Because the kid is capable. I think this is the breakout week. I think Alabama wins it in a grinder, and I think that I would be comfortable saying they cover 3, not 6.5.
Yeah, if he's going to throw for 255, 260, I think they cover.
I think it's going to be very difficult for Ole Miss to win this game that way.
Yeah.
Mike Smith, can we have a weather-related issue that cancels the Ohio State-Notre Dame game? Instead of a makeup game, they count it as a loss for both teams? No. Notre Dame's winning the whole thing for the Notre Dame,
our mother.
Pray for us. They're going to be 7-time national champions in 8 years. We're going on a run. That's never going to happen. Nick Saban is a better man than you are, Tarrant County. Yeah, he is, and I think they're going to win this game. I do. D-Rock, there will be some answers Sunday morning.
Damn right.
Lives will be changed. Careers will be changed on Sunday morning for certain. Mike Smith, Nick Saban's sad face on the sidelines always looks like he's trying to work through a bout of gas cramps. It does. Johnny, Monty, what happened? Tinkle, tinkle, bro. And then the air conditioning kicked on. Tarrant County, Monty PP got stuck. No, it didn't. So, I have not doing it. Damn it, Monty, you had one job to do. Lock yourself out, and I succeeded.
I bet.
Gary Williams, if Iowa State wins tomorrow, is this Coach Gundy's last game in Okie State? No, not a chance. He's not getting fired.
You don't fire him mid-season.
No, I don't think he's getting fired at all.
And you don't fire him, he resigns.
Christopher Shannon, 14 of 27 is 51.85%. He's not good, but he's not. Is that not good or is that inexperienced? He needs reps. Find me the athlete, the dual threat quarterback who walks out throwing for 70%. It's very rare. I'm not saying he's a great passer. He threw for 255 yards against arguably the best defense in the country.
Guy needs 4 more completions to be at 66%. Like, let's not make this out like it's a 10 completion gap.
Chris, I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. But what I'm telling you is he's not a bad quarterback. He's not terrible.
And Nick Saban's not stupid. He wouldn't recruit somebody he didn't believe in.
I think Tommy Rees is on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Right now. I think he's on the hot seat. I truly do.
By the way, can we get this guy some easy completions early in the game? Can we get him into the flow of the game a little bit?
Well, we said this about Nate Johnson at Utah.
Yeah.
When you set a guy up to feel confident, and this is Justin Fields with the Bears.
Yes.
You need to let him make plays. Don't tell him what the defense is doing. Don't just say, blue 96 Razor XYZ banana toe, and then let him go run the play.
Right.
Jalen Milroe needs to have the quick outs. The other thing you guys have to remember, this is the worst receiving core I've seen at Alabama in a decade.
Are we clear on that?
I don't know that they have a star. Bryce says Bama by a landslide. Really?
Yeah, man. You got
You know what, Bryce? You're gonna see how good that Texas defense is. And maybe that is what is indicating that maybe Bama wins by a landslide. But
if Bama beats Ole Miss by a landslide, it makes Texas look like the best team in the country.
It really does. Kevin the Destroyer, the last time OU was in Tuscaloosa, I had bad gas cramps, didn't we all? OG Gary, my dude, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
I'm hearing Cam Rising's not going to play. So
what else is new?
But I think whether Cam plays or not, I think we'll talk about that in a minute. Disagree. I got Bama losing by 1. Okay. Elaine Train. What's up? Elaine Tran, rather. Why do I say that every day, Elaine Train? Ole Miss 28, Alabama 42 over. Whew. Elaine says Milroe went to Katy High School in Houston, Texas. Katy, Texas. Cleveland rocks. Big game and both starting QBs probably out at K-State. Yeah. Bummer. Delaric, Ole Miss 35-24. Really? Mike Smith, Bama's strength on O right now is the running backs. Yes. And that with a quarterback who can run, play action fake for a long pass. And he's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
James at Okie State, there won't be 3 quarterbacks on Saturday, only 1. Better. I would if you are Gundy Mullet, don't you just run your kid out there?
Why wouldn't you?
Right?
You made this point on Monday, I think it was. Dude, run your kid out there, and if it goes crappy, then you take him out and you can say, yeah, well, I did everything I could. I even took my kid out of the game. What else am I supposed to do?
That's what I would do.
I'm a man.
Elaine, comment dump. I like Nate Johnson at Utah. Ocean View Coffee Crew says. Nice. Let me go back up. Where is it? Elaine said hi.
Hi.
Comment dump. Mike Smith says, hello, Elaine. We're all so nice. OG Gary, I think Cam may get some snaps, and he's been practicing all week. They can announce that Nate is the guy, but Cam's suited up and getting pass play. I don't think they would do that.
I don't think it makes sense.
I think they are going to – Cam is not going to play until he is fully ready to run the offense. And when he is ready, they will run him out there.
Yes.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, so consensus. Do we have a consensus? Alabama. I'm confident Alabama wins the game. I think it could be a touchdown, but I'm comfortable saying 3.
I'm saying Bama covers.
Look, wow, Bama covers.
Yeah, Bama covers.
Look at Jakey 2 holes. He's wearing a red shirt, calling big
roll
shots.
Tide, Crimson, that's me and stuff.
Ohio State, or excuse me.
Yeah, dude, I know you're a Notre Dame fan, like touchdown Jesus and stuff. Show some respect.
To Notre Dame, our mother. You're right. My bad.
Notre Dame, our mother.
Thank you. I don't know why you're leading with that other garbage school.
The Ohio State.
Yeah.
At Notre Dame. Where do you come down on this? I think it is. How big is this game?
I think it's huge. I think when you have. And again, if we're gonna point out all the hype, as far as like game day and everyone going to a certain site, like they did with Colorado, I think we need to point out, the McAfee crew and game day is in South Bend, and I think that this game obviously is a massive college football playoff implication game, and I think that this needs to be Sam Hartman's coming out party. This needs to be Notre Dame's, hey, we got the season going right here. Hey, you're going to come in here, Ohio State, as the favorite to win the game, small favorite, albeit, and we're going to beat that ass in this stadium. We are going to, I don't know how much they win by. What was it's -3 to Ohio State. Notre Dame, if they are as advertised, I would tell you should have control of this game.
I would love for that to happen. But I don't know. How good is Sam Hartman?
I think he's better than people are giving him credit for. I think he's a veteran. I think he's got experience. I think he knows where to put the ball when the pressure's in his face. Like, I would not expect, like, Sam Hartman, it should not give you the bad turnover. You shouldn't see just the ugly interception.
Of course not.
Tomorrow, right? Like, this is somebody who should be able to move the offense down the field, understands the play call, understands what the defense is trying to do to him, and understands where his guy is going, right? Like, and that's why I say Notre Dame typically has questions at quarterback, in my opinion. They've got a name, but you're never sure. Sam Hartman should be able to deliver.
Let's not kid ourselves. I think this could be the best Ryan Day Ohio State defense ever. I like Sam Hartman. Obviously, as a Notre Dame fan, I mean, the beard is, I don't even, it's an aphrodisiac at this point, right? This Ohio State defense is very good.
Don't get soft
very,
on
very
me.
good.
Come on.
I'm not, but
Come
I
on.
think this is the question is, there's a lot of, is Audric Estime going to fumble? If he fumbles once, they lose.
Yeah, game's over.
And I don't care if it's on the first snap, he fumbles, they're going to lose the game. You cannot put yourself in down and distance situations that require Sam Hartman to carry the club. You have to be in 2nd and 6, 2nd and 3. You have to be in advantageous situations with the chains. And too many times with Audric Estime, you find yourself the opposite of that. Now, I also think that this ground game for Notre Dame can burn a lot of clock. I think that it's a huge deal. If you're getting 6 yards a carry against everybody else, you're probably getting 4 a carry against Ohio State. It'd be nice to be in 2nd and 6, 3rd and 3. That is plus territory. Sam Hartman then can thrive. When you're in 2nd and 9, the playbook goes from here to here, and you become very predictable. That's my biggest question. Can they run the football on this team? And I don't know. I think that it's going to be one of those games where it's 10-7, where it is 14-10 at the half. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think both of these defenses can play. I think the only issue here is that I think this Ohio State defense is elite.
Yeah, well, and I think when you talk about Estime running, like, he's going to see a lot of Tommy Eichenberg on Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think him versus Eichenberg and the ability to shed tackles and run after contact is going to define the game. I completely agree. If Estime is going to fumble, you're going to lose the game.
They've given up 2 running touchdowns in 3 weeks.
And I don't think you're trying to run for touchdowns here. I think what you're trying to do is, again, just like I said with Alabama or any team, you need to be 2nd and 5 or less.
No, and I don't disagree with that. You're not wrong. What you need to be is in a situation where play action is effective.
Well, yeah.
Sam Hartman can throw the football, but if Audric Estime is running for 1 yard a carry, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, because if the front 7 stands up against the run for Ohio State, it's over anyway.
Yeah.
So you have to have the ability, if you're Notre Dame, to get into those situations where you can ball fake the front 7 to make them stand still. Because if you allow them to just run downhill into the gaps, you're done.
Yeah.
It's over, because Audric Estime is not a guy that's going to juke you outside. He wants to punish you behind the defensive line.
Yeah.
And at Ohio State, that's asking an awful lot. I think they're ranked 3rd in the country in defense. That's not accidental. That is not accidental. I think Ohio State wins a very close game. I could see this being 28-24, 27-24. I think it's going to be an absolute physical, dominating test of wills inside. And if we're going to talk about running face masks into each other, Ohio State's going to win that game. I like 27-24 Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough for me. I don't even disagree with that, but I feel like we're discounting home field advantage maybe a little bit. I think that, again, I guess I just put a little more weight into, hey, Sam Hartman has to make plays. I agree they got to run the football for him to be in better positions. But the reality of the situation is, dude, if Notre Dame can come out and connect on a big shot, if they can come out and break the game open early, like, there are a lot of different ways they could go about this. If I'm Notre Dame, you're right. I'm probably not just turning it around, handing it off. Hey, how far can we get? I'm not doing that for the first quarter. I'm probably, let's run play action on the first play of the game because they're expecting us to hand it off, like that type of thing.
And listen, he's completing 71% of his passes. He's got 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You're going to have to lean on him at some point.
Yeah.
and I don't mean to be redundant. I know I've said this.
Yeah.
If you become predictable, this game is over.
I agree.
If you're behind by 10 points, what's Notre Dame going to have to do in the second half if they're trailing by 10 points?
Yeah.
They have to throw the football. If it's a close game, you have far more options. And I just think it's going to be a very close game, and I just have too much respect and maybe far too much respect for the Ohio State defense. But I was looking at this game last night, and I can't find a way to think that Ohio State is going to lose to Notre Dame. And I hope I am completely wrong, and I hope that my bias is making me pick the loss. I don't see that this offense is good enough to beat that defense. Ohio State's defense is top 5 in the country, legit top 5. If Texas and Georgia are 1 and 2, man, I think I can make a strong argument that Ohio State might be 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, let's see Ohio State against Notre Dame. Let's see that defense actually play somebody. I know they played Indiana, and they only allowed 3 points, and I know. I don't respect Indiana football, and I don't think anyone respects Indiana football. So I'm not discounting their defense, but let's see them do it on the road in a hostile environment against an actual threat. Let's see what it is. And if they come through, they come through. You should have won the game. But I'm saying Notre Dame's going to win this game. I think they win it by a touchdown, and it could be a late game situation. That's what I think.
Yeah. All I can hope is the schedule for Ohio State's been too soft.
Yeah.
You're coming out of Western Kentucky where you absolutely torched them.
But you did what you were supposed to do.
You did. Yeah, I 100% agree. But, man, that does not always make it easy to come into a game where you got to play Notre Dame, who Notre Dame has had some interesting moments. That game against NC State was not nearly as spread as it looks. And that was on the road. That game gives me great enthusiasm.
But look at this offense for Ohio State. Anyone notice this downward trend we're seeing? Hey, you put up 63 against Western Kentucky. Then you play some Youngstown State Penguins, and you only put up 35. And then against Indiana, you only put up 23.
It's the Indiana game. The Indiana game is the interesting one because it was a second-half performance.
Yeah.
But also, note when the Indiana game was. The Indiana game was week 1. I much more go back to the Western Kentucky game, and I look at the fact that Marvin Harrison played. Now, he only played 1 snap. How healthy is Marvin Harrison, by the way?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Ohio State's got proving to do.
I think Kyle McCord is a guy that is an upperclassman. He is somebody that not a lot of people are excited about, but the guy is 6-1 touchdown interceptions. I think I don't even care about their offense. I think the Notre Dame offense versus the Ohio State defense is going to determine this game, and I am not going to go against that Ohio State defense at this point. I want to, trust me, goddamn. I want to, but I'm not ready to do that. D-Rock Irish, Ohio State is banking on their last game. I don't know. I mean, that wasn't much of that was a scrimmage.
Yeah.
That was a
By the
scrimmage.
way, it's supposed to be raining in this game. Just
It
want to point
is.
that out.
Joey B says Notre Dame our mother. Hey man.
Yeah, bro.
I'm telling you.
Notre Dame, our mother.
Pray for us. I'm with you, dude. Like, I want it. I want it so bad.
Yeah.
Tanner T. Notre Dame has USC and OSU to carry their schedule. If they lose to Ohio State, season is probably over, even with a win over SC. Terrible strength of schedule. Terrible.
Yeah.
Tanner, I think that's a really good point. Bailey, I'm late to the show, but who do the other P5 conferences have to worry about with the PAC Mountain West relegation? Nobody is asking. Nobody. Well, but you're not going to get an automatic qualifier. You're not going to get cooperation on scheduling like it. I think it's a big deal. Tarrant County, boy, I'm coming v. Oregon. All right, you want to talk a little Oregon, Colorado?
Yeah.
This game's going to be high scoring. The number is 70. Now, here's the problem. Oregon's favored by 21 in this game. Jake? That's your guy, Coach Pratt.
Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Fuck off.
This team
Oh, hey,
will
bro,
cover,
listen.
dude.
You know, good teams win, great teams cover, dude.
Hey, man. Prime's coming, dude. I'm telling you.
Let's make something very clear. Colorado's not a great team. Colorado is not a good team. Colorado is an average football team that outworks you. That's what Colorado is. Facts are facts. And I'm not saying
I don't agree that
I'm
those are
not
facts,
saying
dude.
I'm not saying that Colorado sucks. You guys know I hate that word when we're talking about how good or bad somebody or a team is. Colorado has weapons. Colorado doesn't have an offensive line. Colorado doesn't have a defensive line, and their linebackers are not athletic enough to cover. Did I mention they struggle against the run? They do. The thing that we need to stop doing is looking at the results. They beat a TCU team that, in my opinion, is an October-November TCU team. They beat a really bad Nebraska team. And they, in my opinion, the other game of note is obviously the Colorado State game. But what did we learn about Colorado in the Colorado State game? That there is no quit in this Colorado team. That they are fundamentally sound and they are very, very well coached. That does not make them great. That does not even make them good. They are very, very sus in a lot of different positions. They're an average-ass football team that outworks you and is never going to quit, which is why they can beat the TCUs, the Nebraskas, the Colorado States. But now we're playing big boy football. Now we're no longer playing JV teams. This is the varsity, and it's Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks, who have scored 80 points in a game this season. Not in a
But then
year.
struggled to beat Texas Tech.
Not in a year on the road in Tortilla Land. Not in a year, 80 points in a game. Oregon is more talented. Oregon is well coached. Oregon's at home with a massive home field advantage. I love Oregon to win this game. Something wants me to say, yeah, Jake's right. I think Colorado's got just enough gas to cover. I don't see, and if you guys want to tell me I'm wrong, I see no way, shape, or form that Oregon is going to lose this game.
Yeah, I think the only way Oregon is even ever in danger or even has any sense of worry about losing this game is if they turn the football over. You turn the football over, we have a different discussion. I mean, if you're going to, which typically they don't turn the football over.
No, they
so I
don't.
would not expect them to do that. But that, to me, is Colorado's only avenue to any kind of hope to be in this game. I think that Colorado is good for a turnover or two in this game. I think that I disagree that they're not a good team. They've got a better, if we're going to sit here and talk about Ohio State and how great their defense is and how weak-ass their schedule is, then I'm going to use the same logic with Colorado. Colorado's played a better schedule than Ohio State's played so far. Now, Ohio State's a better team, and we all know that. But Colorado's done some things against legitimate teams. And, yeah, Travis Hunter being out is not ideal, and I think will cost them dearly this week. But I think they can keep up as far as scoring is concerned. I think that they can answer. I think that Deion Sanders is as good an athlete as anybody on that Oregon defense.
Yep.
And I think he can run away from guys. I think he can shake guys. I think he can make plays. But that's not going to be enough this week because you're right. They don't have a good defense, and it's their first year, and inevitably you're going to start losing games.
It's a wee fence.
Yeah, so I think they cover, though. I do. I think Deion's got a point to prove. I think Shador's got a point to prove. I think they know. They're very damn well aware that this is the first game where people are like, yeah, you're losing this game, and it's not close.
I think the skill positions, if this was a game of skill positions, Colorado would win. This is a man's game, son. Oregon likes to physically dominate you, and I do think turnovers will play a key role. I think Travis Hunter's absence is massive.
Yeah.
But how much motivation is there in Dan Lanning's Colorado comments? I don't think there's much.
Yeah.
I think what Deion's been talking about this week is we're going there and they're expecting us to get our ass kicked but we're not going there to get our ass kicked. And I think that's what he's talked about. And that's why I think they cover. I think it's ridiculous. It's a 70-point number. The over-under is 70 with a 21-point line. That's what should be motivating to Deion and the Buffs.
Yeah.
That you think so little of Colorado offensively matched up against Oregon defensively that you're willing to put the number at 70 with a 21-point line, which tells you they think this is a 50-20 game in favor of Oregon. I don't think Colorado goes in there and loses by 30 points.
No, I think that this is much more of a, Colorado gets out ahead early, right? Colorado's at home, or Oregon's at home. They get out ahead early. They are up by 14, maybe even 21. Who knows, right? Pick 6 maybe. Who knows? But then Colorado reels them in a little bit. Colorado makes some plays, puts it in the end zone a few times, and we make this a game up into halftime. And then they're just chasing them the rest of the game. That's what I think it is.
Well, I think the game plan, if I'm Oregon, all I care about in the first, quarter and a half, run the football. Lean on them, lean on the offensive line because you're bigger, stronger, faster on the offensive line than Colorado is in the front seven. Lean on them, run the football. And I think I have never seen Bo Nix throw the ball this well. And I think in the back half of the second quarter, in the rest of the game, you're gonna split them, dude. You are going to gash them for big plays. That's where the 21-point coverage will come from. And we'll see, how does the defense do without Hunter in the back end of it? I don't know. But I think this is an Oregon win, a Colorado cover, and I think it goes way over the 70 points.
Agreed. 100%.
That's how I feel about it.
Yep.
D-Rock Irish says Buffalo Chip won't be happy. No, I don't think so.
Well, and I think, again, if you're Deion and you're this team, you need to understand that the haters are going to have a week here, right? Like, you're going to lose this game, but it's how you lose the game. If you cover the number, if you're competitive, if you made it close through the first half, like, people
but
are
that
going to
team
respect
plays
you.
with pride.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
They do. They don't want to go in there and lose by 30. They're not going to be happy with that. And I think that the Colorado State thing, obviously, I think woke them up a little bit. Like Prime was not amused with how they played in that game.
No, he was not.
That's on video. I'm not speaking for him. He gave that speech. So I would expect them to come out on a mission. It just won't be enough because they don't have the athletes to keep up. That's the problem.
Not this year.
Not this year. Next year, we're having a different conversation.
Colorado's biggest weakness is their front seven. The D-line and the linebackers are simply not quality enough, and in a game like this, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
By the way, this should draw all-time viewership as well.
I would think so. James, what's up, James? Oregon 41, Colorado 31. Buffalo's cover, but Oregon wins. I'm with you on that. Elaine says Shador won't push it. Mike, he's smart. What's 12:30 p.m. on ABC? What did I miss? Hello? It is 12:30 p.m. on ABC. Correct. Tanner T, Colorado covers but loses. Everybody's kind of with us on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who said you guys comments are amazing. Without a doubt, Joey B. Colorado line play on OND, just not there yet. And that's fine. You wouldn't expect it to be. Shiloh was primetime. That pick six was amazing.
Yeah, like a good example. Does Shiloh get, an interception this week? Does Bo Nix make a mistake? Like that's what would throw a wrench into this game.
I would also expect Colorado to come with some disguise, some exotic. I would this coaching staff has been very good at hiding and deepening the playbook week to week.
Yeah.
We're seeing things every week. I think we saw offense in the second half against Colorado State that we hadn't seen all year. The route combinations actually got much better in the second half against Oregon State or against Colorado State, excuse me, and they needed to. And I think we saw when had we seen the tight end become a feature target for Shador? We hadn't. Mm-hmm. But then again, Hunter had been it just is. I think they've done a really good job evolving very quickly through the playbook.
Do we see trickery in this game out of Colorado? I mean, you can't tell me. Dude, if you're going to walk into Autzen as a 21-point dog, why would you not just send it? Why would you not just be like, yep, we are going to push down the field? Would it be anybody's surprise if first possession Colorado comes out and either plays really fast to try to tire out the Oregon defense or takes a couple of shots right out the gate. Because I wouldn't be surprised by that even in the least.
I would be... I'd be surprised if Colorado ever has the lead. I would be surprised if Shedeur Sanders plays the entire game. Because they've struggled to protect him all 3 weeks.
He was running against Nebraska.
I think very highly of Dan Lanning and his ability to diagnose an offense. I worry about Shedeur staying on his feet in this game. And I worry about Colorado's ability to ever lead in this game. I don't see that happening. I truly do not. But that's just me. Jeff Woodworth, after the game, Deion, after the game, do you believe me now? You really think they have a... No.
Haters are already out.
Force Ghost, Prime shocks the world. No. I would love to, but... Tim Walker, Shiloh, when I was young, I used to call you name. Okay.
Whatever that means.
Oh, okay. Elaine says, Jeff, I'm a believer. Johnny says Colorado OC is from Kent State, and ask OU fans about his bag of tricks.
Do you believe?
They're super talented, but Shedeur just, you need time to run trick plays. You need time to disguise. You need the ability to run the football, to run play action or boot.
Yeah.
And Shedeur's not had that. Shedeur Sanders has been running to create time. And it's very hard to operate any kind of trickery or disguise when you're running to create time.
Especially when you don't have Travis Hunter.
And yeah, I would agree. And I think when you're there's a difference when it's a designed rollout, it's designed to do what? There's 3 phases to that, right? There is the pre-snap look. Okay, well, we're going to line up in such a fashion that they think we are. Most times when your quarterback's rolling, you're designing a pre-snap look to make the defense think you are running.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's phase 1. Phase 2 is what happens when the cat's out of the bag. Okay, so now they know you're not running. Was the play fake good enough? Did you execute? And is your offensive line in the right place and in the right space to give you that time out of the pocket to do what you what you designed this play to do? So what we've seen a lot from Shedeur is, I'm going to get out of the pocket to give my athletes, because they have skill position athletes like ain't nobody's business, to give my athletes time to run into a space. Well, Colorado has the athletes on defense to prevent that. And Dan Lanning schematically is very sound with the quarterback out of the pocket. So it's going to be interesting to see, does Oregon play man? I doubt it, because you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Play zone. Let your guys use their athletic ability to either break that play or pound and punish the offender when he catches the ball. I would expect to see a lot of exotic looks and a lot of trickery in the zone looks from the defense out of Oregon. I would expect that. And I would expect to see a lot of Shedeur rolling out of the pocket, because I think he's running for his goddamn life.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel better. Let's see. CU tight end is, I agree with that, Jeff. No. But how much do you use? I don't know. And my question again is, did you use the tight end because you needed to or because you wanted to? Because I don't think there's any doubt, if you look at the formations that got, Dylan Edwards, or, if you look at where Dylan Edwards is catching the football, a lot of times it's out of play action fake. I like the way they use him as a back to catch the football. Because, again, if you look at the offense at Colorado, there's a job to get to your next job. Mm-hmm. I need to chip, and then I need to get to this. But what I like what they've done with Dylan Edwards, and what I like that we saw out of the production that we saw out of Michael Harrison, a lot of that was because you pulled people forward with the threat of the running back, which opened up them, especially in the red zone and in overtime. That's where Michael Harrison really made his hay, because you had safeties. If you go back and look at those highlights, you're going to see that Colorado State defense take that half lean forward, and at that point it's over.
Yeah.
With the explosiveness of the Colorado athletes, if your weight is in the wrong direction, it's too late. Oregon's not going to make that mistake. They're too well coached. So again, I don't think there's any way. I don't think there is any way, shape, or form that Colorado can win the game. Jeff, I see CU either winning or losing this game. I don't think they'll tie. That's my hot take. I mean, that's amazing.
Incredible.
The eye patch. How many jump off the couch Coach Deion train Saturday afternoon? Nobody. Because he's not expected to win. He's not expected to win this game.
And I don't know what we will say Monday if he won't. There's no way.
Stop.
I'm with you. I'm agreeing with you. There's no way.
You need to stop being people's acid, because you're causing people to have delusions of grandeur. I'm just telling. There's no way, you guys.
Yeah.
There is. Tarrant County
Ain't
boy
no
says,
way, no
we
how.
we need content. Throw a wager, Monty versus Jake. Nah,
Hey,
dude.
Monty.
Nah, dude. We ain't. No, let's go ahead and y'all do the show naked on.
I think I've hit it every time.
We don't need no gimmicks. He used a tight end because he wanted to. Gary Wolf. Well, I hope that's true.
You got to get stroked.
I hope that's true. Salty Drunk. This show has turned into the Colorado Slurping Show. I just sat here and said they're going to lose the game and they're never going
what are you talking about,
in
dude?
the lead.
What are you talking about?
Look,
You know what this show's turned into, dude? You not paying your Forex Gold bet.
Yeah, that's what this show's turned into.
So let's go.
Like, where is it, man?
I want it.
Where is it?
I want my Forex Gold, dude.
Where is it? All right. So I'm going to say Colorado covers, Oregon wins, and it's over 70.
Correct. Agreed.
I want to do this next game, but Texas is back, motherfucker. Nothing.
Stop, dude. Dude, please, dude.
You know, these guys are going to come
A lot.
A lot.
Texas is back, boys. At Baylor.
A lot.
6:30, ABC.
No, it's a Quinn Ewers show, baby.
No, it's Dave Aranda's farewell party is what it is. Because Texas, my guy, Jahdae Barron, and that Longhorn defense, the single best defense in these lower 48 states.
How about that?
I don't.
I thought you said in these
Lower 48 states.
Hook 'em, boy.
Hook 'em, boy. I love watching Texas play football. I love this Texas team.
Yeah.
I love this Texas defense. I like how physical they are. I like how fast they are. I love that they wear chains and diamonds. I love that they celebrate and dance every single big play.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's what it should be. But it is the Wackos in Waco. It is a good
Don't mess it up.
home field advantage.
Don't mess it up. It's easy this week.
It's easy.
It's easy with Texas, dude. Win, cover, over.
That's what you think this is.
Yeah. What is the over under again? What is it again?
14 and a half.
No. The over under.
Oh, the number on the game is 49.
This is, man, this could go under actually. Honestly, their defense is that good, dude.
I think this goes over. I think Baylor's going to be a little better than people give them credit for. And I'm concerned for Dave Aranda. Is Dave Aranda coaching for his job?
Yes.
If he beats Texas, he gets another year.
100%.
If he gets blown out by Texas, which I think is far more likely,
Yeah.
I don't see any way that he gets another year. I think Dave Aranda has so much on the line right here. And again, not to be master of the obvious, Texas is very good.
100%.
Texas is really, really good.
And they are much better than you, dude.
And I think it is going to be very difficult for Baylor to be in this game. I think this is a walk-away win for Texas.
Agreed.
I think Quinn Ewers is a guy that when I look at Texas, I think the amazing part of this is only one of the Longhorns games this year have gone under 48.5. Quinn Ewers is playing really good football. And we're seeing a Quinn Ewers that's healthy and capable. Notice we have not talked about that other guy on the quarterback depth chart. Not once this year.
They have another quarterback?
I don't believe they do. And I think one of the things that's so interesting is that Texas is finally using Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah.
The tight end who I have talked about.
Yeah.
He's finally showing you that you can give him the football. He's averaging 53 yards a game. He is a threat down the middle of the field, and he is that guy that breaks your back in the Texas offense. And my goodness, I love watching Jatavian Sanders take guys away from the sidelines. Because when he's in the middle of the field and they are using him in the offense, Jake, I think they're a far better offense. But I also don't know what Sawyer Robertson is going to do, because I just don't think that you can throw 45% of your passes complete.
Yeah.
He's completing 45% of his passes.
Yeah, and the trouble with that is when you're that low, that tells me you're not confident in what you're looking at. You are not confident in who you're throwing it to, and that you're not putting it on the money. And to beat a good defense like Texas, and not a good defense, great defense, top 10, top 5 in the country. If you want any chance against his defense, you got to be on point. You can't have any doubts or reservations or restrictions on where you're going to throw the ball. And I think that's the hard part. That's why I think Texas will run away in this game. That's why I think you're looking at you said the number is 49, right?
49 over.
That's why I think there's a chance this could go under. Because
Stop.
Well, think about it, dude. If they're scoring, at an efficient rate, and they're 40, if they put up 40 in this game, it probably is going over. But 40-10, that would go over technically, obviously, but 40-10 is totally an acceptable result in this game.
But here's the problem. So is 56-10.
Yeah.
I think, am I overvaluing the Texas offense?
No.
I think they are going to boat race Baylor, because I don't think that Baylor can be effective offensively in this game. It is the last rivalry conference game, and I don't know how long it'll be, and we may never see another Texas-Baylor Big 12 matchup.
Yeah.
We may never see it again. And I think Steve Sarkisian has made it his personal business to kick ass and take names this season in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And I think they are going to come out locked and loaded. I think Jatavian Sanders is going to have a massive game. And I think if you're holding me, like rock steady to this, I would say 35-14 Texas. And I think that when it's all done, I don't know why the number 56 is just in my head. I think 56-10, 56-14, if I'm being generous. I just have no belief in this Baylor offense. I think they are an unimaginative, vanilla football team.
Agreed.
That lacks personality, that lacks quality, that has zero depth at quarterback, and you had zero depth before your starter went down. Texas, I think Texas has 45 players that are better than anybody on Baylor's roster.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that Baylor lacks in talent. Texas is just so more talented than Baylor is. Texas is going to boat race Baylor, and I think it's 56-10.
Yeah, I don't want Dave to get fired, but I think that's where we're headed here. And I think that, you can't lose. Let's say it is 56-10. You can't do that at home, dude. That's just not. No one's expecting you to win this game, but if you lose 56-10, you're losing your job at the end of the year, maybe before that. And so I would say I was going to go, 50-14, big time win. The Texas defense scores in this game. That's what we're talking about, just domination. So I would say, win obviously cover and obviously over.
I don't know. And again, you guys, I'm open to the conversation. How does this go under? How does it go under when you have a team in watching every snap repeatedly of the Utah-Baylor game and just looking at Sawyer Robinson being just a crappy-ass quarterback. With all due respect, he is not good.
Because it's garbage.
He's not. I said 45%. 45%. Who are you, Jalen Milroe? He 45%?
For such a smart person, you really are lost, aren't you?
That's wild. Wild. And I think you look at the Utah game specifically because that's the best defense that we've seen Baylor play this year. And Utah struggled offensively in that game because they were without multiple levels of stardom.
Yeah.
And they still scored 20 points.
And I maintain Texas's defense is just a little bit better than Utah's defense, even still.
I don't see how. There's no question about it. With all due respect to my friends up in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I don't see now that I haven't seen a better defense in Texas this year.
Okay, I'm glad we agree on that. Yeah.
I have not seen a better defense. I've seen Georgia, I've seen Utah, and I think Utah's an elite defense. They're not. They are a level short.
Yeah.
If they're 3 deep, Texas is 4 deep. And I hold Kyle Whittingham probably at the top of my food chain on defense. But what Pete Kwiatkowski and the guys at Texas have done to build this defense and coach up the bottom end of their depth chart.
Yeah.
There's not a guy you're going to see on the field at McLean tomorrow for Texas who looks out of place. You have no idea who the freshmen are. You have no idea who the seniors are.
Pete Kwiatkowski is an absolute stud as a coordinator.
Because
there's no doubt.
I'm telling you, boys, they're just there to kick ass and take names. They want to run the Big 12 this year. That is their whole deal. And I just again go back to Baylor, and I say, Sawyer's completing. I can't even say it out loud. He's got 1 touchdown and 3 picks. That's not good. Like, how? You're making Blake Shapen look like an All-American. Man. Now, do you have? Yes, you have multiple levels of running backs. Yeah. So what? Is Keytron Jackson good enough to win the game on his own? Probably not.
No.
And he's very, very good. But do you realize Keytron Jackson doesn't have a touchdown catch this year? Oh, I know. It's surprising. That's how bad Robertson's been. Keytron Jackson, who's got 10 catches, 168 yards, doesn't have a touchdown. Drake Dabney, the tight end, has 3. What does that tell you? They're not explosive, and they don't press the ball down the field. How are you going to beat Texas?
You're not. We're not talking. Again, this is Colorado, Oregon. Baylor's not in this game. It's only a question of how many they're going to lose by.
Lamont Tucker. What's up, Lamont? Good to see you, man. I'm calling it now. Colorado pulls off the upset.
Dude, okay, can we talk about...
Lamont, are you day drinking, sir?
Yeah, I know it's Friday, and I know I'm wearing a red shirt, and it's not teal, and you guys are pissed off about that. But we don't need to be running out here with Colorado's pulling the upset, dude. I don't need that kind of misinformed opinion on this here program. I mean, that is just absolutely... Like, I'm the Deion guy on this show. You guys know that, right? Like, I'm the guy who is delusional and, said they'd win more than 3 games, which they've already done. I'm him.
Prime time.
Yeah, I'm him, dude. Give me the sunglasses and the hat. Give me the sign that says F.J. Norvell. I'm him, dude.
Prime.
They're not winning this game.
It's Louis. Prime.
They're not winning this game.
Prime time. Okay, that felt awkward. Anyway, the point is Lamont says Texas goes down to Baylor, and my favorite, that school in Hio will go down to Notre Dame. There's no O in Hio. Notre Dame, our mother. Notre Dame, our mother.
Notre Dame, our mother.
I'd like to agree with you, but one, you're a Michigan fan, which tells me, well, you're probably delusional anyway.
Yeah, what's the khaki budget these days, bud?
The khaki budget. Oh, the dad bod gone.
It's a wee fence.
Thank God Jimmy's back. We were really struggling in Michigan against, we played that college. And don't they make rolling pins for bakeries? The Rolling Pin Institute of North Carolina?
Jackass.
3-game suspension.
Ooh, man, that Rutgers game really is going to pipe you guys.
Okay. Colorado wins by 6. No, they don't. AAR, prime time.
Prime time.
Here I am.
It's Friday. Andy says, yeah, that was awkward. Aaron Wilson, 2 holes is him. Prime time.
I'm him, dude.
Prime time. Greg Hill, I had to pull off the road to type. That was hilarious. Grifting gamer, OG Gary is wrong on every game. I mean, somebody tell him. Because, Lando Calrissian.
Just Lando.
Hey, Lando.
Do you drive an F1 car,
I
dude?
knew you were. I knew you couldn't.
It?
Prime time. Never at Rainey Branson. What did Rainey Branson say? Wow, you guys, your comments are amazing.
Colorado is the name of the game.
Colorado wins by 6.
Please.
Rainey. Again, it's Friday.
Dude,
you can day drink.
Y'all want to play?
Not that much, Rainey.
Yeah, dude, chill out, dude. Can we just wait till the show's over for you?
OG Gary, 48-45 Oregon, Notre Dame over OSU, Oregon State wins, Utah wins, FSU wins, Ole Miss wins. Lane train. That's all I got. I don't have anything else. Thank you, Greg. Drive safely. The only way Baylor wins is if the Mickey Finn, the Texas sideline water cooler, if they Mickey Finn, that's it. Dude. Bryce
Bonnie,
Martin,
please.
I'll gladly report from the nosebleeds for the Monty Show from Texas Baylor massacre.
Damn right you will. You enjoy that thing.
Back of the Baylor beatdown calculations.
Jesus.
I love it. The Monty Show, hour number 3. Well, actually, hour number 2.5, but that's different. Presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Make sure you tell them, hey, I was watching Football Friday and I heard him talk about The Advocates. Did you get hurt at work today? We talk about workplace injuries like they're no big deal. And we assume that our companies, our bosses, the owner of the company, oh, yeah, they're going to have a job for you when you get back. Oh, they're going to take care of you. What happens when they don't? And here's the question I ask everybody who's involved in workman's comp. Hey, your company's great, dude. They're going to take care of you. But what do you have to lose by talking to the best workman's comp attorneys in the business for free? You never pay to talk to The Advocates. You can chat with them online. You can call them. You can get on their website at theadvocates.com. They have a live, any way you want to talk to them, no consultation fees. No retainers, no fee. You don't pay a penny to chat live online 24/7, 365. At theadvocates.com, there's no obligation. Why wouldn't you talk to one of the best attorneys in the business? Workman's comp, car accidents, motorcycle accidents. With the season coming to an end, our weekends on the bikes are coming to an end as well. It's not a matter of if, it's when something happens. Get to theadvocates.com. They're waiting to help you. It's the Monty Show. We're talking college football. A couple more games to go. Andy says, Monty, just keep making it awkward. Next time, look directly at the camera. Prime time. What's that thing in the Lord of the Rings?
Gollum.
Is that Gollum?
Yeah.
Gollum.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. D-Rock Irish, can I call the Advocates if Notre Dame loses to Ohio State, dude?
Look here, man.
Don't tell them you heard it on the Monty Show because I'll be dead. That's going to be so depressing to watch Notre Dame lose that game.
And what kind of fan are you, dude?
I'm a realist.
Dude, you come on, dude.
I'm a realist.
You're an unbeliever, dude.
But I am in Notre Dame right now, but here's the thing. I am a lot an unbeliever. You're not wrong. How do you get away from the fact that these two teams are very good, but Ohio State's defense is elite? It's a top 5 defense in the country, man.
Against who? Against who?
Well, and maybe we'll find that out. Maybe Sam Hartman and his sexy-ass beard is going to tear them apart. I hope I'm wrong.
I sifted through all that.
I hope Sam Hartman just gets crazy and the beard lice just eats the defensive line at Ohio State like nobody's ever seen before. That'd be awesome. And Jesus is catching touchdowns at Notre Dame Stadium. We're singing, like the alma mater. Like it's
God
going to
bless.
be, it's going to be amazing in my dreams because it's not going to happen. Ohio State's defense is too good. It's going to be a one-score game. And the heartbreak, the absolute heartbreak for a Catholic recovering kid and myself and such as and like, is that Notre Dame will likely have the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead.
My fucking ass.
Are we for real, or is Ohio State's defense just simply too good for Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
That's the heartbreak that we are going to feel. That is not the heartbreak, friends, that BYU is going to feel at Kansas in Lawrence, where Kansas is an insulting 9.5-point favorite on a 55-point number. ESPN 2:30 in Lawrence, Kansas.
Boy.
BYU's better than you said they were. Jake, what's going to happen in this game?
Yeah, I think the thing for BYU is creating chaos on defense. The offense is clearly capable, right? Whether it's Isaac Rex, Cody Epps, like you've got guys on offense. The defense is where they made the difference against Arkansas, right? The defense is what fueled the belief of, hey, we can cause a fumble. We can get that interception over the middle. We can do things on defense that give us the extra possession on offense. So for me, I think BYU is much in the same way against Kansas as they were against Arkansas. I think this is a battle. I think this is a grind. I think it's a close game. In all seriousness, 9.5 is disrespectful. Last time I checked, Kansas hasn't beaten an SEC team. Kansas can't say that. Now, Kansas can say they've got a great quarterback who's very athletic and can beat you quite easily. Absolutely. But I also think that nobody wants to give guys like Ben Bywater and Max Tooley.
L.J. Martin.
Okay.
Credit.
Right.
No, nobody wants to give those guys credit. L.J. Martin's the straw that stirs the drink. The defense is great. Max Tooley, Jacob Robinson, studs. Tyler Batty, stud. L.J. Martin. Say his name. Speak it into existence. Because L.J. Martin is going to be the difference. And you know why? Because if you let Jalen Daniels and the Hawks stay on the field the entire day, you're done. Because there's not a defense in the world that can be on the field more than their offense against Kansas and expect to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
There endeth the lesson.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I agree. BYU needs to do a better job of running the football. No doubt about it.
If L.J. Martin averages 5 yards a carry, BYU will win the game.
Yeah, but I think that's asking a lot.
If L.J. Martin breaks 85 yards rushing, BYU will win the game.
That's more realistic.
Because BYU, and the thing that a lot of people don't like to point out about BYU is that BYU's offensive line is murdering folks.
Yeah.
BYU won last week because of one fella, and his name is Kingsley Suamataia. That offensive line is redonkulous. They are big. They smell funny. They're all married, and they're older than you.
Y'all feel me?
And they're going to kick your ass tomorrow in Kansas. Get ready for it. I'm here for all the hate. I'm here for everybody who's like, oh, dude, you're just a BYU homer. I get it. I'm a fat old Mormon who's going to die soon, according to Oregon State fans.
There is no question.
I'm here for it, bro. But if you look at the offensive line at BYU, and I say to you that Kingsley Suamataia and the rest of that bunch, they're very good. And they are doing a really good job of giving Keaton Slovis the time to make very average plays. And that's all Keaton Slovis has to do. He does not have to be spectacular.
Bro.
What?
How are you out here saying that with a straight face, man?
13 of 25
Bro,
for 167 yards.
How many touchdowns?
2.
That's all he needs to do.
That's what he did against Arkansas.
That's it.
And why was it enough? Because they tortured one of the best quarterbacks that they've seen this year in KJ Jefferson. Now, is Jalen Daniels better than KJ Jefferson? In fact, he is. Does that mean that Kansas is going to win the game? They're not going to win the game. BYU's going to win the game. Because BYU's offense has a running back. And BYU's offense has big, old, bad-smelling individuals on the offensive line that are just going to lean on you.
Hey, look here, man.
And Martin is going to run through holes.
Yeah.
Like his name is LJ Two Holes. He is going. I'm telling you, they will win the game running the football. Period. And then that allows Keaton Slovis, who, bless him, to be strictly average and just barely overthrow Isaac Rex, who makes an incredible one-handed catch.
Agreed.
To extend a drive.
Yeah.
And remember that this offense saw Cody Epps catch exactly 0 passes, and they still beat Arkansas. They haven't even had their best offense on the field.
Yeah, I agree.
And you look at Parker Kingston and Deion Smith, and you look at Chase Roberts with probably the touchdown of the year so far. Nobody knows who the hell Chase Roberts is, and nobody cares. The fact of the matter is, BYU is not going to overwhelm you with 5-star kids who are unbelievable. BYU's about a bunch of dudes wearing beautiful uniforms with the letter Y on their hat.
LJ Martin doesn't have a picture on ESPN, dog.
You don't know who they are, and they're still going to beat you, and it's going to piss you off.
Yeah.
But I think this BYU defense is real. I think Max Tooley, Ben Bywater, Tyler Batty, Jacob Robinson, them dudes are coming. They're fast, and they are now disciplined and well-coached. And again, it just means that Keaton Slovis has to be an average-ass quarterback who doesn't turn the football over.
Facts.
BYU's going to win the game.
Yeah.
Now, what that number looks like, that's kind of a different thing.
Yeah, what are we looking at in this game again? What is the...
I think when you look at the number, it's 9.5 for
That's right.
Kansas, and the number's 55.
Yeah, I think that BYU obviously is going to cover that. And I do think that for them to win, this needs to go under. They need to hold Kansas. They need to limit Kansas. They need to control Kansas. And they need to possess the football. They need to run the freaking ball.
I think when I look at BYU, they got to get the defense off the field on third down. I think the magic number we should be talking here is total offense for BYU. Get to 350 yards.
Yeah.
They get to 350 yards offensively, they've burned clock. They've converted on third downs. They've converted on fourth downs. And Jalen Daniels is not on the field enough to torture you.
Agreed.
I think BYU wins the game. I don't know that I saw a lot of experts picking like a 3-point game. I think this is a touchdown win for BYU. This will be Notre Dame, our mother, pray for us. This will be the same thing. This will be BYU's going to have a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter, and they will, because they've shown that that's the style they like to play. They're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Kansas has not shown that. Kansas, in my opinion, Kansas is going to let down because, 1, they're at home. 2, they're 3-0. And they have not seen a team half as good as BYU. They have played Missouri State, Illinois, and Nevada. And they were probably in position to lose the Nevada game, and they didn't. And BYU is far better. And BYU travels exceptionally well.
Seriously.
BYU 31. Kansas 27.
Damn.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm drinking blue Kool-Aid, bro.
Yeah, I'm drinking the blue
Slurp
Kool-Aid.
it.
Where's the blue and black Kool-Aid,
No
man?
straws, no lids. Just chug that MFer. I'm telling you, no straws. No straws. All gas, no. I don't know, whatever. I don't have any blue Kool-Aid
I think
jokes,
BYU's got more for him than 31 points. I think BYU has shown the ability to put up 40 against a bad team, and I think that part of that is the defense. And I'm telling you, I agree with you. They need to run the football, but that BYU defense is going to make a play in this game that puts points on the board. And that's why I think it's a 35-24 win. And I think that they shut the haters up and they begin the Big 12 season on a high note.
My only question about Kansas, was that terrible offensive performance at Nevada because you were trying to be plain and vanilla and not very good? Because you didn't want BYU to see what you were doing? That's a legitimate question.
Could be.
Because I was shocked at how crappy Kansas was at Nevada. And they were not good. They were boring, vanilla, unimaginative. Not very Kansas-like of Kansas.
Yeah.
So that's a huge question. I think BYU wins the game. Let's see what you guys think on this. Bryce Martin, Kansas is a great first-half team, but fade like hell towards the end of games. They were really not. Imaginative is a word that keeps coming. Creative, like they were just basic-ass Kansas at Nevada. Now, Nevada's not the easiest place to go when you're Kansas, right? Because you got to deal with conditions, but you're better than what we saw at Nevada. Was it an off night? Were they purposely not scheming much? Let's find out.
Yeah.
Mike Smith, BYU will need a cat of 9 tails and a ball gag in order to win. That's an honor code violation, sir.
Yeah, dude.
However, Kansas is coming out fast with Astroglide. It is Friday.
Astroglide.
D-Rock Irish, agree. BYU's physically should win a tight one. I agree. Astroglide, tight one. James, BYU should be required to bring cougar tails with them when they go on road trips as a gift to the home team fans. You love those cougar tails.
Who doesn't?
Jeff Woodworth, Illinois' defensive line is better than BYU.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Jeff, have you seen BYU's offensive line?
No, clearly not.
Which is fine. Spangler, Kansas sacked Illinois 6 times. All gas, no ass. But that's BYU.
All gas, no ass.
Cam Harrison. Cam Harrison.
Well.
I remember a lot of people said BYU would get blown out by Arkansas. Yeah, that didn't happen. Slovis sucks, Tarrant County says. Here's the thing about Keaton Slovis, and we need to embrace this. Keaton Slovis does not suck. Let's eliminate that. You know what Keaton Slovis is? He is a game manager. He is not a game breaker. He's not traditionally a dual threat. He's somebody who's not going to make the killer mistake. And he will find Isaac Rex up the middle. He will find Chase Roberts at the pylon.
Yeah.
He will make the right play at the right time. He needs Cody Epps. Cody Epps, for those of you who don't know, is an NFL wide receiver. He is going to play on Sundays. It'd be nice if he played on Saturdays before then.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he got some
My
looks.
guy, let's get you healthy. The eye patch. Okay, what happens if they lose? Then what? Well, then they lose. I don't know. I don't think they're going to lose. But if BYU BYU is at a point now where they've shocked enough people. BYU is going to be bowl eligible. That's all that should matter. 3 more wins. Mike Smith, BYU better win or it'll be a Monday morning show. Morning, not as like in the AM, as in Notre Dame lost. I'm not a BYU fan, but okay. Giggity, KU going to go to work tomorrow after that embarrassing performance last week. They better. D-Rock Irish, Wisco 7, Purdue nothing, quarter 1, 10:05 left.
Neat.
Wisconsin's not talented. I watched a good portion of their Tarrant County, boy, BYU all fat, no gas.
Yeah.
Colostomy. OG Gary, Kansas is a very good team. So is BYU. Let's see who's better. Bryce Martin, I don't think Kansas is at the level they play vanilla and win. I don't think they can play vanilla and win either. And that's why I'm asking. Like, they're not somebody that I would traditionally describe as vanilla offensively. Jalen is an incredible quarterback.
Yeah.
He is
super athletic.
You love watching him play. Cleveland Rocks didn't know much about BYU until they joined the Big 12. Very classy school and individuals. Yeah, they're great people in Provo. Good folks. Mike Chase, what's up, Mike Chase? BYU's defense is only getting better every single snap. Every single snap they get better. Good to see you, Mike. Hope the family's well. Derek, on Wisconsin. Tim Walker, Hail Mary full of grace. Now we find Kansas in 4th place. Let's all meet at the pylon. Exactly right. Exactly right. At the pylon is where we find Utah and UCLA at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. Sac Lake City.
Right.
-6, 52.5. In favor to the Utes. This game is at 1:30 on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Has Utah lived up to your expectations this year, Jake?
Yeah. I mean, they've lived up to expectations without their best players. Absolutely. I don't know how good this team is, though. I think the defense is as good as it's always been. I think the offense is kind of an adventure so far. I mean, the idea,
I'd
like
agree with
you
that.
made a play, last week against Baylor. You won the game. I don't give a damn if it was almost pass interference or not. They didn't call it. You won the game. It is what it is. I think at some point your luck of not playing Cam Rising is going to run out, but that's not this week. I think that the Utes will handle UCLA, and the only reason I say that is because I look at Dante Moore, true freshman quarterback, coming into Rice-Eccles. You're going to get that ass beat, dude.
Asking a lot.
You are not coming to this stadium. You are not coming to this altitude, and you are not going to come into a packed house that creates just an outstanding home field advantage and think that you are going to upset this team. And I think that the difference between this team for the Utes right now as to what they are with Cam Rising is Nate Johnson just creates chaos. He's not the passer right now. Not to say he doesn't have the talent, but just command of the offense. He's not the passer that Cam is.
I would agree.
But that's developing. You can see he's got the arm. He just needs to learn the offense more. Just needs to slow down for him. So if he's going to continue to break games with his legs and he can keep improving with his arm, I think Utah's future is bright. And I think when they play teams like UCLA, who lost one of the best quarterbacks in the country to the NFL, you're going to be fine. And that's why I think Utah wins this game.
I think Utah wins this game because they're playing it at Rice-Eccles Stadium where, they don't lose at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Utah's won 16 in a row by an average of 6 points or more, except that USC game last year, which was 43-42. And I feel like UCLA isn't the same as we've historically seen them. And I think Utah does, again, they just don't lose at home. And I love Utah in this game. I think that if I look at what exactly Utah is, I'd like to see them use Jaquindon Jackson more offensively.
Seriously.
I would like to see him get a consistent workload. Now, with Mekhi Bernard out, it helps you a little bit because now you're going to get to see what he's all about. But when I look at the numbers on this game and the line is 6, and I think there is something very interesting about this Utah defense. And again, I just keep saying Logan Fano is a guy that you don't have any idea who he is. You have no idea who Logan Fano is. You know who he is? He's a stud. He's the next great pass rusher at Utah, and he is going to torture bros. And I think you, for the first time, are going to see the very best edition of this Utah defense on Saturday. And I think UCLA is not prepared to come to altitude in a rocking house on a cold, crisp September afternoon, and they're going to get it handed to them. And I think it's strictly, I almost don't even care about the Ute offense. This defense is ready to prove a point. It's Pac-12 play. It's the last year of Pac-12 play, and I think Kyle Whittingham wants to make sure he beats UCLA.
Mm-hmm. And, I think, for UCLA, you're going to see a lot of running the football. You've got TJ Harden leading UCLA's running back room with 9.3 yards right now. A carry, which obviously isn't going to continue. Obviously, as the season goes on, you get more carries, that number comes down. But I think that, the crazy thing is that UCLA can run the football, but not on this defense. And I look at Utah leading the Pac-12 with time of possession last year, 34 minutes time of possession a game, dude. Like, they hold the football. So UCLA's not going to get a lot of possessions. And when they do get possessions, Utah's going to stop the run. They're going to force a freshman to throw the football. That leads to turnovers. That leads to more possession time for Utah. And that's why it's incredibly difficult to come to altitude in Sack Lake City, as they call it, and win football games.
But what's UCLA doing this year? They're trying to be physical and tough.
Yeah.
You beat Utah by being physical and tough.
No.
Because the Utes are just better at that. I agree that this UCLA defense is a tackle for loss machine. But I also agree that the Utah offensive line has gotten better every game. I think that their tight ends do a nice job of chipping and getting out in the route. And I think Jaquindon Jackson's going to have to catch the football. And I also think Nate's going to have some design runs that allow him to slow down the pass rush and slow down that UCLA line. And I think Dante Moore, I think that they haven't played anybody very good.
Yeah.
And I think UCLA is in for a world of hurt. And I think it's Utah at home against a newly built roster at UCLA. Good luck. It is, in my opinion, I think this is something along the 30-point line offensively for Utah. And I just can't see this UCLA offense scoring 21 points on this Utah defense.
No way.
I think it's 30-20 Utah.
Yeah, totally.
Comfortable win, physically dominating.
Controlling win. Like, I think, Utah, I think that's what you have to respect about Kyle Whittingham and his football teams. They control the game. If you're going to score, you're going to score because they made a mistake on the back end of the defense, not because of your greatness. And that's what I think is tough when you play Utah, especially at home. On the road is kind of a different story. The defense still creates for them, but they got to have a big play to win a lot of games. This is different. I would expect them to really manhandle UCLA.
Obviously, the frustrating part is that Cam Rising's not going to play.
Yeah.
And I was told I heard Thursday night some rumblings that he's just not 100%. And until he is 100%, I don't think he plays.
Yeah.
I would love it to be misinformation, but again, I think Utah does a really smart job of handling their health. And they don't talk about it, and nor should they. They'll talk about Cam Rising when Cam Rising's playing in a game.
Yeah.
And I think that Nate is ready to go, and I think they've done a really good job. Kyle Whittingham, and I think we talked about this after the Baylor game. Kyle Whittingham needs to give the job to Nate, and he did. And This is the right way to go about it. And again, it's at Utah. I probably am far too high on the Utes defense. Okay, great. I'm with that. But show me a performance where they haven't lived up to it. Where this Utah defense with Cole Bishop making plays on the back end. And am I, this guy right here, the good-looking one, am I not the guy who's been saying Cole Bishop is a deity since day one of spring football?
Yeah, you have.
Cole Bishop
I'm for real.
He is that dude.
I'm for real.
And I love Lander Barton, but Logan Fano up front has been disruptive.
Yeah.
Been disruptive. And I think this is by far the best defense UCLA's seen. I love the Utes. Yeah. I do. Greg Hawkins Rising is not back from what I understand. Yeah, Greg, he's not. And it's a bummer, but I think he'll be fine. Boyd Lake, what's up? The SEO King of America. I like Rice Eccles as a venue, but is it really that intimidating to an SC kid? Really? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is, dude.
That play, and a lot of people ask me that question because another thing I say on this show all the time. That place is special. Rice Eccles Stadium. You'll clinch your hindquarters, dude. You walk in there, you can't in a big game, you can't hear yourself think.
Yeah, I think what people don't understand about teams coming up here is, number one, the altitude. I think people don't talk about it enough. Dude, you're in a big game. And I agree. These are finely tuned athletes, totally in condition. Has nothing to do with them being out of shape. You're in a big game, and you're trying to catch your breath, right? You just ran your ass 40 yards to make a tackle, and now you got to catch your breath. So now you're trying to catch your breath. You can't barely hear what the guy's saying to you in your ear or what your teammate's saying to you. And Utah's playing a pretty good pace on offense. Like, it's tough, dude.
It's not easy, and I go back to the old Oregon days where Kalen Clay's dropping the ball at the goal line. And you look at where Utah as a program was back, 2014?
Yeah.
10 years almost later. You're watching opponents last year, and SC did this last year, like a bunch of teams did it. They just break. Because of the altitude, and it makes your head hurt. You're standing on a field, and you cannot hear a guy standing this close to you talking to you because it's so loud.
Yeah.
And you're at altitude, so you're hearing yourself breathing. The crowd is loud, and the south end zone has changed dramatically. And it looks more modern. It's not. The Muss, which is the student section at Utah, still shakes that building.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the best, most underappreciated home field advantages in all of college football. I truly do. I truly, truly do. AAR, UCLA Bruins get the job done. Really?
Yeah. Nah.
I think UCLA edges this one out with Rising out. I don't think so.
No.
I think Nate is more than capable. And I don't even think it's Nate. I think it's how are they going to use Jaquindon Jackson in this game? Obviously you need to run him more. Throw him the football.
Yeah.
I think there is plenty of talent here.
Utah needs to let the athletes eat, bro. Utah needs to let Nate Johnson play make. You need to let Jaquindon Jackson play make. You need to let these guys do their thing. And that's what I think Witt doesn't do. Witt's not really interested in, hey, let's, let guys go out and do their thing. And I think they need to do more of that. I think it limits them sometimes. But again, all of this is for naught. That defense is going to dominate UCLA's offense. And I think that's where your game is decided.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. I will never buy into a team trying to out physical Utah. Because you just don't see it.
Yeah.
And I think you look at the McLeans, the Parks, the Yasmins, you can go up and down. If you want to beat UCLA, throw the ball to Jaquindon Jackson 5 times.
Yeah.
He's going to average 4.5 yards a carry. Let him carry the ball. Throw him to him 5 times. Let him carry it 12 times.
Yeah.
And you will win the game. Because how many Nate's probably going to run it 10 times, 15 times, just by having the ball in his hand. But he's also a really capable thrower, and he's a guy that can push the ball down the field. And I love the Money Park shot in the Florida game. I would love to see them do that again.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be 31-20. I think Utah wins this game because I just think they're going to be more physical on the lines, and I think their defensive ends are going to dominate the football game.
Agreed.
I see. Eric says, don't mind the godless heathens up at Oregon State. They're just salty because Cracker Barrel is closing all stores in Portland.
Hey, you start talking shit.
Cracker Barrel's something to fight over.
Yeah, dude.
Eric,
a reason to throw hands.
You just paid $5 to slander Oregon State, and I'm here for it. Pay $5 more. Tanner, Monty, why did you have to bring up Clay's drop from 2014? It was an amazing moment in Utah football history. An amazing moment. An amazing moment.
Yeah.
So, Cleveland Rocks. Wife and I loved your Golf Man freaking out film. What was that?
The video from yesterday.
Yeah. That was off. Did we delete that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh, you guys, there was a golf course guy who lost his mind. Eric also gives us $2. I put more trust in Maryland's offense than Ohio State's you do. Welcome to the Nightmare, who's been a member for a month now.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Says 48-21 uniform U. I like it. Okay. I love it. Are those all our games already?
Yep.
I think those are all of our games. Wow. Anything in the NFL you want to hit? I think there's a couple of stories real quick. Chargers Vikings -1 to the Vikings, 54 noon on Fox. Here's a good deal for you. Only 4 teams since 1990 have started 0-3 and made the playoffs.
I don't want excuses out of you on Monday.
For what?
Your boy. I don't want excuses out of Justin Herbert this week.
Fire the fucking coach, and I won't make an excuse. Their coach is
It doesn't have anything to do with the coach, dog.
Yeah.
First of all, I apologize. I F-bombed.
Yeah, can you watch yourself, dude? This is a family program.
You're talking about the sex machine. You watch your mouth, sir. Second of all.
Stay hard.
Play some defense, San Diego, who plays in Los Angeles. It's amazing to me that you can't play with all that talent. It's a wee fence for certain, like wee fence. But my point is the sex machine's not what's wrong with the Chargers.
Right.
Are you
By
telling
the way,
me
Austin Eckler's out?
Well, yeah, I know that. But he's not the problem. Justin Herbert is not the issue with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Why would you say such a terrible thing?
Because they need to win a ball game. They need to go out, win a ball game on the road.
Here are the 0-3 teams. Or 0-2 teams, excuse me. Cardinals, Broncos, Bengals. Bears, Texans, Panthers. Chargers, Vikings, Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't think Arizona, Denver, Chicago, Houston, Carolina, or the Chargers make the playoffs.
Damn.
I don't. And with Austin Eckler out, they're not going to win this game.
No.
This is the one that I'm fascinated by.
The hoodie.
New England Patriots. I don't know why I'm talking like that. The New England Patriots.
We're focused on the Jets today.
Yeah, we're focused on the Jets today. -2.5. The over's 36 at the Jets.
Yeah, this is a real generous line in my opinion. -2.5.
Didn't you have Acuna in?
Nah, not today.
He had a home run. Good job not picking him.
Yeah, thanks.
I think New England's defense is going to do a number on the Jets.
Yeah, they're going to do a number on the Coug Hunter, dude.
I think so. Bryce Martin, Patriots beating that ass.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be 10, 14-point win in my opinion.
Salty Drunk, can we talk NBA upcoming training camp, please?
Nah.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, what are the talking points, Salty? Please. How about should we just Sir?
I mean,
Stay hard.
Hey, keep
there's, huh? Yeah.
Sing me. All right, here you go.
There's your mic. Go for it. Good. What are you doing right now?
I'm trying to give him the mic. He won't take it.
Oh, we're calling it a mic these days.
There's
nothing. I would love to talk NBA. No.
When's you want to talk about Dame? Dame's not going to OKC, so it doesn't concern you.
What did Bart say, Tanner? Tanner said, did they already talk about Bart Scott's comments on the Diggs injury?
It was. He shouldn't have said that. Bad look. Ryan Clark and Stephen A. corrected him. That's why he's Bart Scott, dude.
What did he say, Jake?
He joked about Javon Diggs' ACL injury and tried to reference Stephen A. Smith when he said, hey, bad things always happen. Just wait. Bad things are coming. And you don't do that when a guy just got injured in a non-contact situation. You don't do that when a guy, torched his knee at the goal line. Why don't you say that about Nick Chubb? Oh, that's right, because you don't like the Cowboys and you want to hate.
And listen, I think Nick Chubb is a far more terrible injury, but does it matter? Trayvon Diggs is there's just no reason. It's a bad look. You don't joke about people. You don't hope for people to get injured.
Yeah.
And, you just don't do that, Kevin the Destroyer says, go boys. I think that was a huge blow to the Dallas defense. Especially with the way Parsons is playing. Good Lord. Like that is a bummer. Two holes doing the two-hand stroke.
Yeah, dude. I just want to provide Buddy an opportunity to take the mic, and I'm cool with it. It's fine.
You got to get stroked.
Jackass Jerry caused Diggs injuries. No proof, but I just know it.
Okay.
Slander people, it's fine. Lee Jensen, Dame to Minnesota for Cat. Who says no? Everybody. Bryce Martin, it hurts, but they'll still be a dominant defense. Yeah, I don't know about that. Salty Drunk, hey guys, we have NHL preseason in Melbourne this weekend. Kings Coyotes should be fun. Anybody see the Coyotes? Yeah. Anybody see the Coyotes hockey arena? Yeah, they forgot. And listen, it can happen. Okay, it's hockey. They forgot you need to freeze the water to play hockey.
Oh, got it. Okay.
The Arizona Sun Coyotes arena had all kinds of puddles on the ice because they didn't freeze them.
Good job, guys.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The Monty Show is always presented by our good friends at Bucked Up Energy, buckedup.com. I tell you guys every single day on the show, Graham, hit your Buckies, hit your buck shots. And you know what's been awesome? I got back on the nutritional grind this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I've loved it. I haven't had much to eat today. We played really surprisingly good golf this morning. Had some meetings. Like, I was not hungry because I had a protein shake with whey protein isolate from Bucked Up. I had my creatine. I had my collagen peptides. I had my greens in there. And I just was not hungry. Jake brought in some chicken meatballs today. So I ate those balls. And it like, I'm satiated.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word. And I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
And I give a lot of credit to Bucked Up. I got on the scale after we were done golfing this morning.
Golf.
Yeah, lost 2 more pounds.
Golf.
Life is good, dude. Bucked Up makes quality products with quality ingredients that just do what they say they're going to do, whether it's a buckshot, whey protein isolate. I'm telling you, if you have not been to buckedup.com yet, use the promo code Monty20 to save 20% off your purchase at buckedup.com. And I'm telling you, it'll make a difference in your life. It absolutely will make a difference in your life. Conference Commissioner Gumby, Monty, what did you have for lunch?
Yeah, bulls.
I had like corn and stuff for lunch. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. D-Rock Irish, Wisco 14, Purdue 3, quarter 1, 17 seconds left. Tim Walker, Hakuna Matata.
Right.
Tarrant County, boy, salty oy, mate. Ball eating money, times are hard. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, support our guys at buckedup.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Are the Coyotes and Cardinals run by the same incompetent people? No, totally different incompetent people, amazingly.
They're just equally incompetent.
Yeah. Delaric, I think Coyotes to Austin or San Antonio.
Oh, Salt Lake.
No, Seattle, bro.
Yeah, man.
Seattle, bro. That's what I say. All right. Have a great weekend. Be safe. You going to play?
I was getting to it. I was trying to pull it out, dude. Jeez. Can you just give me a sec here?
Are we done with the weird innuendos?
And I only have 200 drops. I've got 620 here, so it takes a second.
You didn't even play the drop. Oh, my God. You got to play the drop, dude.
Well, you got to explain it first. Okay, I'll just play it.
Macaque.
Okay, so Elon Musk has a brain implant technology company thing.
Yeah.
And it's murdering monkeys.
Yeah, I got a picture in there. Would you mind just showing them what kind? Because it's important. These are macaque monkeys. Yeah, those kind of monkeys. That's what they're testing on.
They have this chip that they want to put in people's brains. To which I say, yeah, good luck. I'm not doing that. But they've been testing them on the, and I believe it's macaque. We didn't know how to pronounce the name of the monkey.
Macaque.
So we went to Google.
Macaque.
And put in the name of the monkey. MACAQUE. Monkey.
Macaque.
And
nice monkey, dude.
My bad.
Go ahead and play the music.
Macaque.
That.
Oh, man. This is a perfect ending. It's perfect, dude, in all ways.
That drop is going to live forever.
Goated.
Until Monday. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.